I'm terrified.
No, don't be terrified. We're all streaming.
Be afraid.
But I have everybody's stream on the slides so we can multi-stream. Hey, let me switch to the different BGM. That is my theme song. But now we will switch to the lovely ambient noise.
I was fucking loving your theme song. So thank you,
Thank you. Yes. That's my theme song. That was done by my good friend Frankie, who was a musician who does all kinds of cool music for people. So definitely check out. All the credits are in my stream, but yeah, they do good stuff. Frankie, I think used to be Frankie Xanadu. I think they go by Frankie Sugar Pants now. It's their stage name. So, but regardless, because they are also a clown. At least on VR chat.
We all are.
I have a lot of cool friends. Welcome to D&D. It's been a long time since I ran D&D on this stream. Although I actually got my start streaming as a D&D games master. So, what I want to do to kind of start us off here is just have everybody introduce themselves, and then we'll talk a little bit about Dungeons and Dragons, and then we'll do the modules until we run out of steam or until we run out of time. Hey, Kevin Spicey's in the chat on my stream, one of my former players from the previous time I ran some of these modules. So, let's talk about everybody we got here on the crew. I got a lovely little intro slide for everyone. And in no particular order. So, would you introduce yourselves? And I'm going to be the one to go last.
No.
This sounds like a school project.
I don't wanna.
I'm sorry. I'm actually a teacher in my other life, and so are you, apparently, or worse.
Yeah, I am, or I was.
Teacher energy.
Yep, that's why I find it fun to say no and actually not do anything about it. So anyways, hi, I'm Hecate. I'm a cat. I like head pats, and I bite things. Very cat-like tendencies. I'm a variety VTuber. So that's pretty cool. I say variety in quotes because I love Project Moon Games a bit too much, and sometimes that takes a bit too much time in my stream schedule. I've been playing D&D 5e for about 5-6 years now. I've also checked out other systems like Big Eyes Small Mouth, which is very anime related, and that one's really cool. It's much more roleplay heavy than actual combat, and it was really interesting to me. I'm sad to say that I couldn't get a session going with that, but it's really cool. I checked in Pathfinder a little bit, as well as Log Horizon.
I may have spelled your Twitch name wrong on the slide. Let me make sure I get a shout out.
That's right.
I like
yes.
Log Horizon the anime, but I didn't know there was a game.
That's how I learned about the game. Actually, sadly, it's not fully translated.
Based off?
Yes, it is. Let me see if I can pull that up quickly, and then I can send it to you privately.
Yes, please.
I just wasn't typing it right, but I did find your channel.
Yay!
I typed it right in the thing. Okay, there we go.
Let me shout out on my side too.
No.
You need to shout.
No, shout out everybody.
I don't know how to do this. I'm not used to collaborating with others. I'm new. I need advice.
We're learning to collab. We're learning all the tricks, all the things.
Yeah.
Gaimon knows.
We're very.
I bite his computer cords, so.
It won't be. It'd be a good scuff today.
What edition Bessem? What edition?
5e.
Smallmouth.
Oh, sorry. And for that one, it's 4e. I was checking out 3 and 4e. Yeah.
I haven't played Big Eyes Smallmouth in a very, very long time. I think back when I used to run it, it was first edition, maybe. They also had a D20 port at one point that I ran briefly, but it was a little bit of a one-off. There was a Turtles Bessem module. It wouldn't surprise me. The book that I have is Sailor Moon for Big Eye Small Mouth, which is it's fun. It's a hoot to run Sailor Moon. Absolutely. Their source books are really fun for individual animes too, because they have episode guides and they stat everything. It's such a nerdy chat is shocked there's a 4th edition Besom already. Besom's weird though. The balance is not. I've never found. Well, I'll be correct that I haven't played it in a long time. But back when I used to play it, I felt like it wasn't very balanced. Like you could make a broken character really easily. I don't know if they've changed that.
Oh yeah, that was just me reading it. I'm like, some of this is kind of broken.
Yeah, it's very hard. Sailor Moon is very broken, so it's fun to fight her. Playing against her, you just steamroller everything. But she's kind of the final boss of anime.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next slide. Cool.
Oh boy, I am.
You're next.
Hi everybody, I'm Ku. VTuber mainly focusing a lot of the Souls game challenge runs. I like to challenge myself with the games that I play and do more interesting things like that. So, call me Mascus, call me whatever. It's a lot of fun. As for the game systems I played, it's been mainly a lot of 5e and Pathfinder First Edition. Those are the ones I tried, but I've been playing those probably for 8 to 9 years, so a good while.
You're still quiet. I tried to turn you up before, but I'll turn him up a little bit louder.
I can pull me up a little bit here. Hopefully that helps out.
Yeah, that's better.
There we go. I can just increase the gain on my end.
Yeah, that's better. We can hear you now.
So yeah, we do a lot of that stuff, a lot of fun, a lot of good challenges, lots of good jokes around with us, and we're just here to have a good time and teach a few things, impart some knowledge.
I was mentioning earlier when we were doing our pre-game chat that I'm learning Souls liking for the first time, but I'm learning Elden Ring, but I'm definitely not that great at it yet. That's gonna be my Saturday stream.
It's a learning process. It's a fun, rewarding process, though. Definitely.
It is.
For sure. And now you're our full newbie, our guinea pig tonight.
Yes. Hi everyone. Hi. My name is Kagi. I mainly just stream at night because I work a lot. I work a long day. But like Ku, I am a Soulsborne Souls-like player. I'm trying to not specialize, but I'm trying to like play strictly those kind of games. I really like the process of dying a lot and learning the enemy movement. So I am completely fine with dying a lot. Like I don't really get ragey. I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. And just kind of live a bit. But I have no TTRPG experience at all. I made a tweet one day and was like, hey guys, I really want to learn how to play this. Can anyone teach me? And this is where I met all these wonderful people that I'm collabing with today.
Yeah,
Yay.
and thank you for pulling us all together. That was I saw your tweet and I thought, well, I'm me. I'm happy to be the person to teach you. I don't have like a lot of time in me to do like a full campaign right now, primarily because my variety streaming is out of control, and also I have other projects that I'm working on that are aside. But what cool! Yeah, I'm getting a lot of. It's cool sending your people. Hey, there's only cool people ever on my stream.
Yeah.
So this is me. I'm Lita. I've been streaming for about 6 years. My VTuber just debuted last October with this new model. So I originally had a different brand that I was streaming under for a couple. This is just a one-shot K-Spice. I don't have time to do the campaign again. K-Spice was in my former campaign, though. You'll recognize some of the atmosphere that I'm using for this because I'm using some of the old stuff that I had laying around K-Spice. I do a little bit of everything. I'm a major variety streamer. I do challenges, speedrunning, retro RPGs. I am playing Elden Ring for the first time on Saturdays. Horror, indie, variety, and of course random chat. I did random chat last night. I've played a little DnD. You can read my slide. I've played
That's
every
a little.
edition. I've played every.
You're just a little bit of a nerd.
I've run I think I've run 5 successful campaigns. As far as cons, I did get invited to a Critical Role taping. I did get to meet Matt Mercer. And I almost got expelled from school for my filthy habit because they accused me of drawing satanic symbols on the chalkboard.
I mean,
because I was. that really did happen in some small towns, and it did happen to me. I got drug in front of the dean, and they shouted at me for accidentally leaving Dungeons and Dragons paraphernalia where smaller children could see it, or something like that. I don't know. That was fun times. And I've run a lot of RPGs. I've run Call of Cthulhu. I've run Big Eye Small Mouth. I've run Dread. Made. I still want to get that made. I should be awarded a medal for that. People also tried to. Yes, I also was exercised. There's also. It actually happened to me twice. I've been satanic panicked twice in my life.
That's
And
Damn.
now
I
I'm
have no idea what that means.
Neither do I.
well, so back in the day, if you played Dungeons and Dragons, it was considered Satan worship.
Oh yeah, I remember
Um,
that now.
yeah, so they basically told you that you were going to hell and you needed to be cleansed, and so like the person who stopped being my friend decided to do an intervention for me at one point, and the church yelled at me. It was awesome.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yep,
fuck
I
the
did for like Yu-Gi-Oh!
church.
And Pokemon, if I recall too. That was
Oh, anything. They'll get you. They'll get you for anything. Pokemon.
Yeah.
They'll get you. They'll
I
get
remember
you
that
for,
one
Yeah.
because I went to a Christian school and I remember that very very vividly. It was very interesting.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Gosh. So yeah, I've played a little D&D. I've read a little D&D. My actual first role playing game, which is so nerdy, is I played the Ninja Turtles role playing game when I was like super duper young,
That's fire.
which is called TMNT and Other Strangeness. And if you're familiar at all with the Ninja Turtles comic book, they're like they're so dark and so adult, and yet I was like, I watched the cartoon and I want to play the game. So it's based on the comic book and not the TV show. But it's really fun and it's a lot like D&D. So once I had learned that game, I was like, oh, this other game is really similar. And you could be like the Hobbit and stuff. So yeah, and kind of worked my way into that. So for the benefit of everybody else who's watching the chat, because I'm a teacher, I like to do a little babble. I get in trouble for talking too much, but I'm going to keep this brief. What is Dungeons and Dragons?
Clap, 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 clap.
Nerd shit.
Dungeons and Dragons is when you get a bunch of really famous hot people in the same room and they all act their hearts out. No, that is not what Dungeons and Dragons is. I'm sorry. But that is what a lot of people think Dungeons and Dragons is. Somehow it got glamorous. I don't really know why, but I guess it's just that so many glamorous people were playing it all of a sudden and they were using these really expensive items, and you somehow avoided watching Critical Role. I've watched it a little. The funny thing is that I saw it live and I hadn't really like watched it up to that point. So it was like kind of a weird experience, but you may be familiar with Dungeons and Dragons from Stranger Things, which they also they got some of the rules wrong and it's never stopped bothering me. But today we're here to teach Dungeons and Dragons to a new player and have few players that have played it multiple times before. Now, this particular folder binder of stuff that I have is from the Tomb of Annihilation. Tomb of Annihilation is a campaign that was released, I want to say, like in 2017. The 2017 is on the bottom of the slide, but 2017, 2018, somewhere along those lines. It is based in a jungle, which hence my little forest ambiance, although we'll put on some D&D music here in a second. Critical Role is like One Piece. It's cool, but there's so much. Yeah, actually, I really recommend the cartoon show. That was a really good like summary because
The Legends of Vox Machina, yeah.
Yeah, the Legends of Vox Machina. If you haven't watched that, it's really good. I enjoyed
Wait,
watching
is it
that. Yeah.
Sorry, is it a Critical Role cartoon?
Yes.
Yeah, it's their official cartoon.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's a good summarization of the entirety of the adventures and the major story beats.
Okay.
Legend of Vox Machina is really good because if you want to sit down and actually watch the first Critical Role campaign, I don't particularly think you're going to have a good time because they didn't really have all their stuff together for they first started doing it, and it's kind of hard to follow. I think the second campaign they were more polished, and it was the same with like our campaign. We started like on my friend's couch, and we slowly like moved into like a proper studio because we were doing it like in a tabletop environment, much like they did. We actually did eventually like get like a really nice setup. That was like right before COVID. So we played for, I don't know, I want to say like 3 years. It was a pretty good campaign. And theirs is very similar. So like the audio quality of their first few episodes isn't super good, and like for me, it's like very hard to follow. But if you watch the cartoon, that's like really easy to follow and it's fun. So that's what I would recommend if you want to learn more about like their whole thing. And then maybe watch the second campaign. I don't know. I've watched a few bits and bobs of it, but not a whole lot. So I decided
We'll
to
definitely
run.
research.
Yeah, definitely. I decided to run Tomb of Annihilation because I'm very familiar with it. But also, oh, I see you were kidding about the voice acting. No, the voice acting is good. They're all professional voice actors doing professional voice acting. Oh, I lost my train of thought there. But let's move on
You.
to the game. The game. To make life easier. Oh, I was gonna say I thought it would be easiest to start us at level 1
Sure.
because level 1 is
Sounds good.
kind of like not the most exciting level in D&D, but we're gonna do mostly role play and not a lot of like too much
Combat.
like combat. Yeah, there's gonna be some obviously, but I'm trying to keep it simple. So I made 10 pre-gens, and like you're gonna grab you on the spot. If we want to make any changes, absolutely can make changes, and I will just toss you these sheets on the Discord as you pick. And if you obviously we have a first timer here. If you don't know anything about what these classes are, I'll just run over really quick. So I threw some races on here. What D&D Beyond makes you pick the race and then the class. So I basically just picked random races for people. Like I said, I could change these if you want. But I made a dwarf barbarian. So dwarfs, of course, they're short, stout, strong, sturdy. Half elf bard. Half elf is a classic human plus kind of vibe. A lot of people like to pick up half elves because they get the dark vision and everything. But they're still like kind of mostly like a human. They just have a couple elven traits. And elf. I made an elf cleric. Now I made a druid. I made a genasi just because the D&D Beyond lets you do that. And the one that I picked is half earth elemental because I thought it like felt with the druid vibe. So if you want to go that route, you can, or we could easily swap. Like if you want to do like half elemental on another one of these characters, I can quickly like redo them. I made a human fighter, the most basic character you can be.
Yeah.
I love paladins, so I made one of those too. And we're not going to worry too much about like what god you worship in this, although I will talk a little bit about the setting of D&D as we go in. I made a bird person because you can do that on D&D Beyond.
Burp.
And Aarakocra, yeah. And they're kind of broken because they can fly, but they can't like fly like crazy good.
I mean, any fly speed is good fly speed.
Yeah.
Fly speed is a good fly speed. It's classic halfling rogue, which is like a hobbit if you're not familiar with halflings, but similar. And dragonborn is like a dragon person, not like in Skyrim. That's a different dragonborn. A sorcerer.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because the sorcerer class kind of implies that you have draconic blood, so it was just like an easy thing to glue together. But technically, you could be a sorcerer of any race. They'll just ask you, like, what dragon ancestor did you have? And you just could say, like, oh, I was descended from a gold dragon 100 years ago, thousands of years ago, whatever. At 100, they'd still be around. That might be off.
My mom fucked a crimson dragon. Don't mind it.
And then I made a wizard, elf wizard, another classic setup. So
Question.
what? Yeah, go ahead.
This sounds dumb. Okay, so I
Nope,
I
not dumb.
kind of know what a hobbit is. Like I've seen the movies, but at the same time, what is a what is a halfling mixed with?
They're not half anything. They
Oh,
just
okay.
it's just
They're
like
half-sized.
Half size, yes.
Okay,
Pretty
okay.
much the best way to think about it.
Even though I think
Okay,
they're
okay,
smaller
so
than
it's not like
gnomes.
half.
Hey.
halfling is like legally distinct hobbit, although there's actually two subraces of halflings. There's the Lightfoot and the Stoutheart. This one is a Lightfoot. Doesn't really like they're basically like little people.
Little people.
Actually, I think in first edition they were called hobbits, and then they were forced to change it.
Yeah,
Yep,
because
can't
that's
imagine
like
why.
trademarked.
Yeah.
Can't
So they
imagine
had to-
why.
So they had to come up with something else. And they were originally like, oh, and they have hairy feet, but they're not called hobbits.
No.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
Thank
other
you.
questions? Nope. And there's no stupid questions. You're learning, so.
Can I have a
There's a
cookie?
lot to go over too.
What?
Yeah, like the only thing I know about these kind of races are like just typical RP things you see in like fantasy.
Exactly. D&D is very much like, if you could imagine the cliche of the thing, that's basically it. Because D&D is kind of the basis for a lot of these. Or it would be more accurate to say that Tolkien came
propagated.
first and D&D ripped it off, and then other things ripped off D&D, and it just sort of became a loop of. So it's definitely the cliche of how you would imagine.
Okay. Okay. I'll
So
think cliche.
elves are just like in Lord of the Rings, especially since these characters are both made as high elves. So they're like elegant, and they live in the forest, but they're tall and they're not like short Kleber
They're
elves.
pretty people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I kind of put a little note for the ones that were less familiar. So like a half elemental, they have the powers of whatever type of elemental they are. So earth would be like you can like do stuff with rocks.
Yeah.
And if you're like a
Earthbending.
water elemental, you could breathe underwater and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And it matches with druid because druids are kind of like grass forest.
Exactly. I thought it would be a cool
Earth-ish.
cool twist.
What is an Aarakocra bird quark?
I'll show you.
Is it like okay?
They are like actual bird people.
Think
So they have, like-
think
Like harpy?
yeah, think
A little bit.
The bird people from the painted world of Ariamis.
Ugh.
Kind of
Okay.
like that. A little bit better looking, but that's the general idea.
Okay.
Let me get a. They look
Got it.
like they are like actual burb.
Burb.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
they're burb. And you can
I see
be
them in
like
fantasies. Okay, got it.
you can be like any type of burb, so it doesn't have to be like that's an eagle, there's an owl.
Cute.
There's also one that like this one is a parrot. This is a smaller picture, but so you can be like any kind of burb
Mhm.
person.
Do you wanna be a bird?
The smallest bird, and was like,
That's
okay,
awesome.
Go for it. Be a
Peacock
bird.
and Cockra is peak roleplay though.
That
Sorry,
you know
what?
what? You know what? Peacock, you could do that. Or a tiny little sparrow. I mean, you're still a full size person, but a little finch guy, yeah.
It was just thinking like, oh, that'd be hilarious. Okay.
You think you might want to go for the burb? I mean, it's up to you.
I'm open to at anything.
Oh God, we're all indecisive. This is great.
You all have to choose. This is the choose you must make.
Choose the choice, you must choose the choice.
I mean,
And then I will put them in the
I'm
chat.
used to being a ranger in a lot of games.
Okay.
Okay.
I like my far range, mid range kind of stuff.
Yeah, I thought that would have like nice synergy with being a bird as well, because then you can like and you might see I just throw that in the chat, so it should show up in your Discord if you want to take a look at it. And I'm gonna open it up on my screen as well.
I have to save it.
Oops, I have to open up the other window.
Open the
That's,
things.
Yeah, I gotta open up all the things.
Oh, this is a different character sheet than I'm used to. Interesting.
These are right off D&D Beyond, so
Oh, that's
and
probably.
it's got a name on it, but I mean that's easily editable. Sometimes it automatically generated a name, and I was like, okay, well, Ice isn't the weird name, but it's kind of short, but we can work with it. So
that works.
I used the. I mean, we can stick with it even. Whatever you want to call your character is fine, though. You don't have to choose the name that it came with. I also noticed that it has my old screen name on some of these, so you can delete that.
Name
as well.
him Genichiro and have a good time of it.
Genichiro.
So Genichiro does lightning though.
I know, but it'd be funny.
Oh, the sorcerer does lightning.
That's true.
This is a lightning character.
I mean, I can be Priscilla. No, I'm joking.
Priscilla. The couple things to note about the burb, they basically have everything added that you need already, so we'll go over these things during play. But you can see that you actually have an unarmed strike with your well, you're not book smart, but you're money smart, and that makes you more intelligent. you have a high
wisdom. Sounds like a bird. You know, they go for shiny things.
Mm-hmm. You have a high
They're
wisdom.
not the brightest.
So
very good survival.
Crayon on the box.
But a +2 wisdom is really good.
Okay.
So there's wisdom is the difference between intelligence and wisdom. Wisdom is kind of like your that was a joke referencing a viral video, by the way. The difference between wisdom and intelligence is that wisdom you get like perception, anything like in the out of doors, which is why rangers tend to have a higher wisdom.
Like common sense stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Animal handling, common sense, exactly. Survival goes off wisdom. Like anything that's like knowing facts goes off intelligence. So if it's like history, that goes off
perfect.
intelligence.
I'm dumb.
So
Street smart is pretty much
Yeah, book smart versus street smart, exactly.
is the best way to. This is the most general terms.
And then charisma is, of
There's
course,
actually
people
those-
smart.
People smart, exactly.
Mhm.
So you also have a charisma stat. Yours is even; it's a +0, which means it's neither. It's just kind of flatline. It's not bad or good. All these characters were generated using what they call a standard array, which means that you've got like one really good stat, which is your dexterity in this case, and then you're gonna have one what they call your dump stat, which is your low stat. And in this case, it's intelligence.
Oh, that's
So
fun.
everybody's gonna have like one good thing, one bad thing, and then a bunch of things in the middle.
Okay.
With the bird person, you have the unarmed strike with talons. If you want to just scratch people, you can do that.
Where am I
um,
looking at?
It's on my
oh,
Stream.
screen,
yes,
but
yes,
if you
yes, okay,
scroll
okay,
down,
okay.
did you grab the PDF?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And you also get to choose a favorite enemy. Right now, I just basically gave you animals because that kind of makes the most sense. That
Mhm.
probably won't come up this session, but it's just kind of one of those things.
What
And
does
then-
PHB mean?
Player's Handbook.
PHP stands for Player's Handbook. Yeah.
Oh, like which
And-
page?
Yeah, it's the page to reference in the book if you're going to be actually using the books. I have the physical books next to me, but they're not obviously on screen. So
Okay, that's fine.
any questions you have, I am happy to open the book and answer it for you. But all these things that say like PHB 90 or whatever, it's just saying like if you reference this if you want to know more about this
Mhm.
thing.
Okay. What's EE?
Is that elemental evil?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's different books is usually what those will be referencing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
got it.
like
Okay.
XGH, I think is one.
Is
Okay.
what is that?
I think that one's Xanathar. Oh, wait, maybe it's
Xanathar's
just
Guide
E.
to everything, right?
Yeah. Oh, it was E, not H. There you go.
A lot of the times when you see those, it's just different books, different rules that get referenced because there's I don't even know how many books there are for 5e right now
There's a lot.
that are
A lot.
actively used.
Mordenkainen's.
Five is getting close to the end of its life cycle, and they're probably going to switch to 6e relatively soon.
They're doing
because
1E, aren't they?
No, they're right. They're like we're restarting. It's D&D. Yeah, they tried that before. It didn't work. 5e was supposed to be that.
Yep.
I was in the frickin' playtest for 5e, and they're like, "No, it's Dungeons and Dragons. We're not calling it 5th edition." Bet. Everybody's gonna call it 5th edition, guys. Everybody's gonna call the new one 6th edition. You can't
It's
reboot
just gonna
Dungeons and
happen.
Dragons. You can't reboot. It's not a thing.
Nope.
We'll
Right,
continue
who
to
else
be.
wants to pick a character?
Cool.
I have literally zero preference, so
You could roll a
and
d10.
me, you know.
Well, technically a D9 now.
Yes. Well,
D10 take away the 10.
yeah.
Do I have any preference? Do I really have any preference here? No, not really. So we'll roll a D10 and see
I got
what.
the die roller up. You
got
got
a
a 5.
What would be
Let's
5?
go back. Wait, let's go back.
Let's see what I. Let's see what I
1, 2,
get.
3, 4, 5. You got a human fighter, the least exciting character.
That's been my new favorite thing to play recently. As
Oh, well.
boring
The
as
most
it is.
generic, really?
No,
So
it's awesome.
it's specifically a little bit of thing into the current campaign we're running. Essentially, I've been told that I'm able to learn some alchemy and do stuff, and I'm essentially able to potion dope the fighter, my fighter character, to do some really dumb stuff, and I'm like, this is really hilarious and interesting now.
So this one doesn't need too much explanation. This is level 1 human fighter. You've got the ability to do an arm strike. You are trained in athletics, so your big stat is strength +3. And the rest of this was pretty much auto-generated. You got 12 hit points. And
Amazing.
the usual fighter kit, which is all PHB stuff, so nothing too confusing, complicated there. Chainmail, longsword, and general adventuring gear.
Solid.
You can swap to leather armor if you want. It doesn't really matter. I'll let you choose.
I'll just stay with chain. It's fine.
Alrighty. Alright, last one to pick.
Me. I'll be a fallen Aasimar paladin of Helm.
Oh, okay. You've got your character built already. Do you want to share it in the chat so I know your character?
I don't have it built already.
Oh, you don't have it?
Nope, I'm just like, oh, you can generate things? Cool, I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
I can make it
That's
easily.
Paladin, a classic.
You can make it on D&D Beyond?
I have my own, like, character template that I can do.
Oh, okie I like paladins. Paladins are fun.
Yeah, definitely. Give me a second to
And
pull
do
that
you
up.
want to explain to the newbie what a ASMR is? I don't have any ASMR on here, but they're legal.
All
for
right,
D&D
so an
purposes.
Asamar is basically some people who have like angels looking after them. So in turn, they get some powers to help people. So, for example, like healing, you can heal people with their hands. Sometimes, depending on which one you are, you would be dealing like extra radiant damage because there's different damage types. But for this one, I'm specifically going with the more evil inclined and going more necrotic shroud would be its ability, but I get that later. But for now, it's
Necrotic
just
like necromancy?
yes.
Ah,
There's a
okay.
radiant as in like gods, and then necrotic as in like undead.
Okay, okay.
There's pretty good synergy with the ASMR and Paladin because they kind of both have like that celestial / infernal kind of vibe, depending on which direction you take it.
Hmm.
Of course, there's good synergy with that and the Warlock too, but I didn't build any Warlocks in that.
Warlock.
Paladin is probably my favorite class. Paladin is just so much fun with the being able to either heal or harm people. Plus, you get a big sword too, or a big axe or whatever it is you use.
Hmm.
Last time I played in the campaign, I was a dark paladin, so it's definitely a vibe. I like that vibe a lot.
It's a good vibe.
Yeah, yeah. Been a while since I played that character. I have a mini for her though.
I always keep the crack in case of emergency Sporlock character in case I need to like mess with somebody. If somebody says bring your best, and I'm like, yep, here we go.
If you have your character ready, you can either share it in the chat or you could just like get it out in front of you and just.
I'm literally making it right now.
Oh, okay. No worries. We're not in a hurry. We've got
yeah.
the evening to get here. Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna swap to the actual music because I was just playing the little forest ambiance.
I literally put down -8 as my initiative. I'm like, that's wrong. Gotta switch that.
Get that D&D music.
Just a little
It's not
off.
super duper loud.
We're doing max, so
Crayola connoisseur.
Yeah, we're doing a standard array.
got it.
conversion, So it's pretty quick. That was the fastest.
Yeah, I already got the stats all up. I just need to remember like Paladin starting stuff. D10, got it.
Oh, and since we have a new player, let me go over the stats really briefly. Just to explain how the stats work in D&D, you've got this base stat here, which is a roll of. Originally, these were always randomly rolled, so they were 3d6, and then people started coming up with like other random ways to roll them, like 4d6 drop the lowest is fairly common. There's like a lot of ways now to generate characters. And eventually they came up with this concept of the standard array, which kind of just makes life a little bit easier. Hey, folks, those of you that are joining us today, we are playing D&D for the first time in.
We're being nerds.
Welcome.
Yay, nerds.
Cool nerds.
Cool nerds.
All nerds are cool. It's great.
Yeah.
All nerds. Yeah, so that's why you see this little number here at the bottom. But that number does not freaking matter at all. And it is only there for reasons of it was there in all the other editions. And it doesn't mean anything in the current edition. It's just there for like backward compatibility legacy reasons. The number you care about is this modifier. This actually is what you add to your die roll. So if I am this fighter character and I'm trying to make a roll to see my strength, I'm just going to go ahead and roll a d20 real quick. And I got a 16, so that's a really good roll. My dice are hot, by the way. It's going to be bad for you guys.
Yep, that's fine. We'll deal with it.
And that means I add a +3. So that's like a super, super good roll. If I had a 16 +3, I have a 19 at level 1. I'm probably going to be able to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish, unless it's just beyond something of my level. Now, you may have seen earlier I rolled a 20. That when it's a nat 20 like that, that's considered a crit, and it's usually like an instant success in anything you do. In some cases, you have to crit confirm, mean like roll the d20 again to like see if you do extra damage or something to whoever you're attacking. So if you're attacking in this session and you get a 20, it'll automatically always hit, and then if you roll like hit again, you'll do double damage. So that's basically how that works for like attacking or anything that's like a crit. People love to see that nat 20. It's very the d20 is the thing that you'll be rolling the most. Any kind of skill check or anything is going to be on that d20, and those are like your most common rolls. But if you're rolling like damage for a weapon or something like that, it'll usually be on your sheet what you're rolling. So like for example, that's like the longsword. There should be, I don't know what. Sometimes they give you a character name here. You don't have to stick to that. Oh, it looks like the longsword isn't actually on here, but you do have a longsword, so we'll add that to the sheet as well. And it should be +4 because that's what your 2-hit modifier is. See, this proficiency bonus here is what you add to any attack rolls that you happen to have. So in this case, since you've got a +3 strength, you should have a +5 to roll with the longsword, which is really pretty good. And then let me just double check the damage on that longsword because apparently it did not get added to the sheet. Should be a D.
D6.
Yeah, it should be a D6.
I think it's yeah, that sounds right.
I think it's a D6 unless it's a D8. Well, I hope I'm not covering my camera.
Is it a
Oh,
D?
question.
Two-handed
What
yet?
is that P under the skills? It's like there's a bunch of bubbles, and then inside the bubbles there's a P.
Oh, proficiency.
Oh.
That is the proficiency bonus. So as you level up, your character has a certain
Oh.
level of proficiency, and if you are proficient in a skill, an action, and such, you get to add that bonus to whatever it is you're doing, just making you better at it because you're proficient.
Got it.
Longsword is D8. That is reminding me.
It is D8. Amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was
love that.
D8 or D6. Short sword's D6.
Ah,
I might need
So
to have some.
is that under equipment?
Yeah, and you might want to check your weapons as well because you might not have them written on your sheet. It looks like
Yeah,
only your
they're
unarmed
not.
strikes made it to your sheet. So I have it on the screen right now.
Okay.
And we can, you know, if you don't want to, it looks like you have 2 short swords and a longbow, so you are totally stacked. Because one of the things the rangers can do is fight 2 weapon.
Oh, we're dual sword. We're dual
Yeah.
people.
You can do a wield, yeah.
Yeah.
Sword.
Is nice.
Sword. I will copy.
And then
what
you also
type.
have the longbow. So
Do
with the short
do
sword,
weapons have
that is
durability?
1d6. No, you don't have to worry about that.
Thankfully, unless we fight rust monsters.
Dungeon
But
Master's discretion.
There are certain types of enemies that can impact the durability of your weapon. We probably won't be fighting those in this session.
Okay.
So yeah, you have 1d6 here. And this uses your proficiency bonus plus strength. So for you, it's +3 for melee, as listed on your unarmed strikes. And then it's also going to be, because ranged weapons use your dexterity, which is your high stat, and your proficiency bonus, it's going to be +5 to hit with your bow. So you're better off using your bow if you can, but if you get in close, you can do a lot of damage with those swords you can dual wield.
Wait. So these +5 means I have to roll like a D20 or
Right.
whatever.
No, you roll a
the
d20.
roll D20.
And you add that number to your roll.
Mhm.
Okay. So because longboard doesn't have a D something, it's automatically a D20, and then short swords are D6.
Oh,
That
so
is for damage.
there's 2 rolls you have to make. You have to
Oh.
make the roll to see if you hit, and then you make the roll to see if you do damage. So the damage that you do is depending on the weapon. So for the longbow, it's 1d8.
So if I want to damage something, I roll a 20 to see if I can even attack,
Right.
and then I have to roll. If I attack, then it's like, oh, okay, then I have to roll a second dice to add the damage to it.
Correct.
So it'd be like, for this one, it'd be the highest would be 8 + 5.
Well, for your d20, it's +5. For your
Or I mean, for the
damage-
longbow.
Yeah, it's 1d8. Oh, plus your dex bonus.
Huh.
You have
So-
still, I know. Sorry.
I'll
so
figure it out
much.
eventually.
Well, when we get into combat, I'll re-explain.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Whenever you attack, you basically roll to hit, and then you roll to damage. So there's 2 rolls involved.
Okay.
Then you add your
Mhm.
whatever your bonus is. So for this, since you have the +1 strength, you're always going to do +1 damage. And for this, since you have the plus, and the ranged weapons go off dex,
Okay.
so it's like that.
Okay. You'll figure it out for me, right?
You'll figure it out. Yeah, of course.
We're here to help.
And we won't make it like, oh, short sword goes off dex as well. Some chest.
Yes, short sword is finesse. So actually, if it's a finesse weapon, you can do strength or dex, depending on what you prefer.
Actually, hold on, Kage. I think I figured out the best way to explain it to you. The damage bonus you add is essentially equivalent to the scaling stat modifier from Dark Souls.
Right.
So the higher your associated stat, the more damage it winds up doing.
Okay.
That's it's as simple as that.
My brain's just like, got it.
This character is built pretty efficiently, so they're always going to get their finesse bonus when they do damage with their weapons. So
Okay.
yeah, good point. You can. I'm so used to melee being strength and ranged being dex, but actually there are finesse weapons that allow you to use your dex, so you could just use your dex.
So
wonderful.
the cutoff point to know if I actually attack or like successfully attack or not is it like 10, like half,
Oh, it depends
or
on
is it
the
up
enemy.
to the DM?
Depends on the enemy, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some enemies are harder to fight than others, so the GM will tell you if you hit or not after you've rolled the dice.
Okay, got it.
Yep. Right. Are you still working on your character?
I sent it.
Oh, okay. I don't have my Discord open. Perfect. Oh, I gotta download that character. I'll grab it off my.
I literally just threw it up very quickly. There were a few mistakes. I'm still working on it, but it has all the stats and all that. Or,
That's okay.
for the most part, saving throws were a little off when I sent it.
Too worried about it.
Amazing.
This is all for good fun, so no problem.
Is it? Is it really?
I think VB has
Is it
played
really?
has DM'd more recently than I have. So if I get any details wrong, you can correct me in the chat. It's been so long. Did that load? There we go. Okay, now it loaded. All right. Oh yeah, you got the template. Oh, beautiful. Okay, and you've got your armor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. My template was a little different.
That's fine. It looks pretty similar. Yeah, it's got a different second page, huh?
Yeah. I added 3 jars of salt and 3 jars of cinnamon. Yep.
That's so specific.
Yep.
Is the salt for drawing circles around demons?
No.
Okay.
That was my first thought.
No, it's just mine.
For salt.
My
Just for
salt.
salt. Okay. Wonderful. Keep my eye
That
on
is
the adventure.
Concerningly specific.
Oh, and the cinnamon too.
Sometimes,
Don't worry about
sometimes
that.
you just need salt.
Yeah.
I mean,
I could do 20 bags of ball bearings if you want.
Oh no! You can make evil bean bags and throw them at all the bad guys.
Exactly.
You've chosen a great sword, 2d6 as your weapon.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're ready to start?
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Good.
I have a pickaxe now.
I gotta take it.
Pickaxe.
Oh, you changed
Hell
it to I'm gonna take it.
I had to mine my salt, maybe.
Start the adventure.
I gotta figure out my story in a second.
What? Oh, what? Oh.
What's my backstory? How'd I get all this salt and cinnamon?
Well,
You're a
You
chef.
do?
I don't know.
you do
You're a shit.
start the adventure on a boat coming into the port.
Got it.
So it's possible that you are a trader. Maybe you're
Mm-hmm.
trading it, bringing it with you to trade. Oh, there's other barrels of salt and cinnamon on the boat when you arrive. Let me move on to the prologue. And I'm going to be reading some of this directly from the module, and then I will continue to elaborate and expound upon things as time goes forward.
Mhm.
So imagine yourselves on a boat heading into a warm tropical port town. A westerly wind picks up as your ship approaches the inner mouth of the bay. To the west, mountains of dark gray stone lead to jagged peaks jutting out from an endless canopy of trees so thick it seems as if the sun could only dare beat its way in. Ahead, the tall, stone-cast walls of Port Nyanzaru form a stockade barrier between the bay and the city proper. Your ship passes through the gates, into the harbor, and land rises, marking the city's districts. Rows of buildings made of multicolored patch stonework are decorated by colorful rooftops and murals. Small, winged lizards flitter past the ship's bow, heading off into the trees as you pull into the harbor. You finally arrived, and it's time to get a clear lay of the land. Now, one thing that you will notice in my accompanying illustration here is that this city has a lot of lizard folk, and in particular, they use dinosaurs as pack animals here. So you'll see smaller dinosaurs with packs on their backs, little dinosaurs pulling carts, and little winged lizards flitting through the air, as you would also occasionally see tropical birds. Sometimes you'll even see a lizard eat a bird, or vice versa. And as the sky flutters with tiny winged lizards as you pull into the harbor. It's very warm. It's the hot day, and this is a humid climate, so it is a little bit sticky. But the breeze from the sea is on your faces, and you're just happy to finally be seeing land after a long journey. You might want to now introduce your characters to each other. Tell us what your character names are, because you have been on the boat for a week or so now, so you would have gotten a chance to get to know one another.
Here.
Who wants to introduce themselves first? Do you have a name for your character? You have to think of one if you don't. Or you can always use the random name generator.
I use random name generators so often, but this time I got my own.
Right. You want to go first?
Sure.
Introduce your character?
Me?
Yeah. I've got you on the
Okay.
screen, so.
No. Anyways, I'm Mercury. So I have pale, extremely pale skin, amber eyes, and long black hair that sometimes gets in the way of some chainmail I'm currently wearing.
Pale skin, amber eyes.
Long black hair.
Who, I'm going to make you go next because your character has no name. What's your character's name going to be?
The character, it's I don't know the shit, but I do. So the character's name is Govlon Chesk. He is on the shorter end for a human. Good growth of a beard. And he is.
Oh, I spelled that like that? Gavlan?
Gavlan, yeah.
Okay, got it.
And he is on a journey just to hone his swordsmanship skills. We'll go easy story for this. Nothing crazy.
Yep. Oh, and the background your character has is folk hero. So you've already done like some dragon slaying or some kind of monster slaying, maybe some goblin slaying back home. So maybe you're coming into the
Goblin Slayer?
Yeah.
Goblin Slayer.
Like, get more heroic experience. All right, Ranger, you're next. Kagi, you want to talk about your character? They came with this name. You can change. You can name whatever you like.
I'm fine with ice.
Okay. What
I
kind of
am
bird
ice.
are you?
To be honest, considering my intelligence is low and I go for shiny things, I'm thinking I'm a pigeon.
Very good. Very good.
What else do I say?
Everything.
Why am I here? What?
Yeah. What brings you to the port town?
I'm sorry. You guys will discover my lack of RP abilities.
It's okay.
That's totally fine.
Learning.
I followed the.
You're out for adventure. You're following the wind, and the
wind
energy is
and-
taking you. Yeah.
Yeah, and the
That makes
treasure.
sense.
I don't know. Sure, treasure.
Treasure is also a good motivator in this game. Absolutely.
Don't worry, Kagi, I got your reference picture.
Reference picture?
Yeah,
Somebody share that in the chat.
I shared it already.
Amazing ref.
Perfect. Okay, we'll use this.
That's low-key fantastic,
Hey.
actually.
Oh, that's cute.
Very good. Very cute.
Aw.
Excellent.
Oh.
Right. So you've got a pigeon person, pigeon girl on the ship. You've got the human fighter, and then you've got the Asimar with the pale skin. Excellent. And I think you've all gotten a chance to talk to one another at this point, and just for the sake of like party cohesion slash, we're all on this adventure together. So you sort of all know each other's deal by this point, at least like why you're here, and that you're all sort of looking for adventure, right?
Mm.
Excellent. Okay, just to make it simpler. So you disembark along with other merchants that are on the ship. You could be trading in spices to this port as well. That's why you've got some cinnamon that you swiped from the spice trade and
Of course.
the whole
Soaked
yeah,
in cinnamon.
perfect.
My face is just covered in it.
Everybody that's a merchant on the ship is starting to unload the spices and other goods. Since they're here, they're going to be trading for other things that are in the city. And there is a man. Well, you're pretty sure it's a man. He's dressed in quite fine garb, and he approaches the boat and talks to the crew a little bit. And sees you all disembarking, comes in and greets you, and says, welcome to the port. This is your first time in Yanzaru, yes?"
First time and hopefully last. I'll be honest, I don't. It's way too hot here.
It is. I believe you will get used to the climate, but when the rains break through, it's most refreshing. It's very pleasant, although it does, I know, tend to weigh on those that wear heavy armor, the stickiness and the heat.
Well, I guess I'll be waiting for those rains down in Africa then.
Yeah, there's very much an Africa vibe to this particular campaign setting.
Are even pigeons in Africa?
Welcome to
Don't
Africa,
think
pigeon.
too much about it.
Yeah, well,
I'm in the wrong place.
They have swallows, right? That the African swallows.
African or European swallows?
African or European, exactly.
I
The-
boarded the wrong ship. I'm here. Hi. It's too hot.
If you're interested in learning what there is to do in this city, you should probably head either to the Merchant's Ward or to one of our local inn establishments. I'm sure after your long journey, you want to see some dry land, have a clean bed, perhaps a meal, something a little bit more local than the ship tack that you've been eating the last week or so.
Yes, please.
Anything's better than those.
Agreed.
Let me direct you to the Thundering Lizard. It's a bit of a more lively establishment. You probably have a good time there, and you could learn a rumor or two about what's going on in the town.
All right, let's head off then.
Would be much appreciated.
So you traveled not too terribly far, because the travelers in the city all have the wards that they go to when you're from out of town. There's only a couple places that people direct you, but you have a feeling the portmaster, it's kind of his job to make sure that no one inn is like overcrowded, and making sure that everybody's like accommodated properly and everything. And this location does get some what you might consider tourist traffic, because it's very tropical, but it's so far away that it's not like necessarily a pleasure cruise per se for most people. Most people are here to do business. As you head into the market ward and into the inn, it's called the Thundering Lizard, and there's lots of rather loud, boisterous conversation going on. People are making tropical drinks. You can get yourself some skewered meat, and some steamed vegetables and some other things that are local. Everything is very spicy. There's a coconut juices used. The meal is pretty good. It will cost 5 silver to have a proper meal, but we're not going to nickel and dime you on the money. So just know that they definitely do want you to pay a little bit. But if you're low on cash, there's probably plenty of things you could do to get money out here at the ward. This town has various wards that you can explore. You can sort of see on this big map here, but I'll read it more just since it's kind of small on your screen probably. There is the Market Ward, which is located in the eastern portion here. This is where the tradesfolk are working and living. There's the merchant ward, which, if you're here to trade, you probably want to head in this direction. This is on the north side, north of the harbor. Old City, which is kind of the poor side of town, but there's 5 silver Disney. It's 5 silvers. It's a nice inn, okay. Um, Old City is where there's like hovels and tents and some ruins, and it's not the nice. It's kind of the bad side of town, but on the other hand, there might be some adventure or some excitement there. And there's also the what I'm trying to read this word, Tiryuki Anchorage, which is the housing for explorers and other folks that might be visiting in town if you're kind of a semi-permanent. So you get into the inn, and now it is somewhat up to you what part of the town you would like to explore. Be it headed to the outskirts to see if there's any trouble to stir up, or going into the merchant's ward to see if you can find work, or going to the market ward likewise. So I'll let you decide. Do you want to head out into the jungle, or do you want to try to find some people to talk to? This is very open-ended at this point.
I have a personal preference for visiting the slums, but any
That makes
places
sense.
you'd prefer first? Companions?
Gavlon would like to see the jungle and its creatures.
Excellent. If you want to head out toward the slums/jungle, you'll be headed up into the north part of town, into the area where there's ruins and such.
Ooh, ruins.
Mm-hmm. Now, keep in mind, it's still very warm, but, maybe some fresh air might get you away from the very crowded hustle and bustle of the streets. So, plus you might be able to, spread your wings a little bit, so that might not be a bad idea.
That sounds like a good idea. I don't know, just need to de-rust some stuff.
Yeah.
Too long of a boat ride.
We can wait an hour and then head out.
Okay. Yeah, wait an hour. Yeah. Well, maybe you want to sit around at the inn a little bit and see, what kind of things people are talking about and all that. Let me just flip to that real quick. Let's have everybody, just to kind of unrust and shake some of the sillies out, make a roll. I'm gonna say, okay. So let's look at it this way: either insight if you're just hoping to stumble across something, or investigation if you're actually trying to find clues and see what's going on. Whatever feels better for your character. So that it'd be a wisdom roll for insight, or investigation is intelligence.
Got it.
And since we're using roll 20, just go ahead and roll a d20, and then you're going to add whatever bonus.
So you said perception or investigation? Oh, insight.
Insight or investigation, yeah.
Got it. We'll go for
Okay,
insight.
yeah. Okay.
Everyone roll?
Yep. Everybody
Gavlon
roll.
is going to roll insight. Oh wow, there we go.
Oh, we can roll insight or wisdom, you said, right?
Insight is wisdom, so it goes off your.
Just roll.
Oh, let me explain the skills to you, since you probably don't know what I'm talking about. Over here in this section of your sheet, there is this skills list here. These were the worst in 3.5. There was like a bajillion of them, but you had to min-max like crazy. But now it's very simple. Now it's just a handful of basic skills that you basically can add stuff to. If you have a little checkbox here, it means you're trained in that skill, so you get a little of additional bonus. Otherwise, it just is add whatever your bonus is that's associated with that skill. So, for example, for Ice here, you have an athletics training, so you're adding a +3. So you're adding your strength +2 +3. So that's what a little P stands for. It stands for proficient. So all you have to do is look at the number that's on the sheet, and I know it's super tiny, but if you zoom in, you should be able to see it. I think I might even make this bigger so we can actually see.
It's like a -1 for investigation.
Yeah.
You might want to
You
insight.
want to go with insight because that's a +2.
Ah. Sorry, what's the difference again?
Oh, insight is like intuition, and investigation is like trying to find information.
Ah, I go with my guts.
Yeah, you go with your guts because you're a creature of nature.
Wisdom. So that is +2 with another +2 wisdom.
No, just that's it. You got
Oh, just
13,
+2.
and you add the +2 for your insight. So this is +2 right here. So we'll add
Oh, okay,
that.
okay.
So so you have an 18, and you are rolling your insight as well, or your
Yes.
insight, yeah, because you don't have.
Yes.
But those are both low scores for you. But you had a good roll, so you have an 18. And you have a 15 because you had a +1.
Yep.
And you had a +2 actually, so you also have a 15. So we got 18, 15, 15.
We're using up the good rolls now.
Oh,
Hell
you just
yeah.
got the good rolls on the easy stuff. Okay.
I know, yeah. We want to struggle later.
The highest roll will give you the biggest info here. You have a little bit of understanding of people's discussion on the bar at the bar. And they're talking about the politics in the city. Apparently the city is run by the merchants, and you want to stay on their good side because it's very much commerce. It's a very commerce heavy city. And there's 7 merchant, they call them merchant princes, that are the leaders of the city. They're not actually like princes per se, but they call them the merchant princes because they're like the most powerful merchants in the city, and they all have their own like little ward that they keep track of. And they're sort of the government in a way of this town. It's very like capitalist like that. And the two of you, both with a 15, you overhear somebody saying that there has been a lot more newcomers lately to this town. You know, you kind of walk in and you're like, oh, more travelers, all these outsiders. I can't believe there's so many newcomers coming in all the time these days. What happened to this town used to be a proper town without all these other strangers coming in. I bet these people don't even like the heat. They aren't used to this place. They're kind of mumbling about how there's too many outsiders in town lately.
You're right, I do hate the heat.
But nobody, even though you hear some grumblings about, all of that, nobody's like outwardly hostile to you. Like, they still like give you a place to stay. They're used to people coming in and out and traveling. So they're like, all right, yeah, this is it. This is where your people, the regulars are getting antsy because there's so much travel, but there's still plenty of food and drink and lodging for you. So you're able to get yourselves cleaned up. And then you've decided to head out north, out the gate. Let me go back to my map here. So you're gonna head out toward Old City.
To the slums.
All right, I'm gonna open up my city map, which is in my other book, of course.
Of course, it's never where you want it to be.
Nah, I've got them all stacked up on the left.
Oh my god.
EM sounds terrible. You have to have like books and books of everything.
If you're running a module, yes. If you're not, then just go all out.
Just go with your guts. I like this module though because there's a lot of the details, which is kind of cool. I just want to be sure that I'm describing the area properly.
It's almost like a choose your own adventure book.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
That's accurate.
That's pretty much what it is. Yeah, it's sort of like where do you want to go? Except when the adventure is open ended, because it doesn't have to go by what's just what's written down. It goes by wherever you choose to go. I'm gonna describe. That takes us to chapter 4.
The 4th level of the abyss.
Wow, we
Got
skipped.
it.
Nope, totally fine. You skip right from chapter 0 to chapter 4. Oh, no, wait, maybe it's... Yes, okay. So in order to get out to Old City, you have to wind your way through the crafting houses and such in the market ward, and then head out toward the merchant ward. And once you break past this gate area here, the energy, there's still a lot of people there that are different, but the locals are different, right? There's not as many fancy clothes. It's not as upscale. You start to see like more laborers and workers and people, dragging wheelbarrows of stuff out into the area. And then you start to see what look like two massive ziggurats of stone. So like pyramids, they're sort of crumbling and weathered. And between these sort of ruins, there's lots of huts and shacks and cobbled together buildings that are kind of assembled from whatever happens to be handy in the shadow of these busted ruins that you kind of they kind of used to be a castle or something, but no longer. So now there's just all these ruins around. And the locals just sort of ignore the ruins. They're just used to it. To them, it's like a normal. That's just like the annoying structure that they're always walking around. Um, but they all like kind of look at you guys because, oh, you're coming from this part of town. You seem like you're merchants or something. Maybe you're a little bit more upscale for this part of the neighborhood. A little bit of wariness, um, and a little bit of concern.
Are we dressed too fancy?
Well, you got your weapons and stuff on.
True.
I actually like these looks. It makes me feel powerful.
People are like, oh, who are these people? Who are these people?
Gavilan is dressed for practical.
I'm just gonna enjoy the sensation for a little bit. I love being perceived as a threat.
So, a man walks up to you. He's a dark-skinned man, and he's got a cane, and he's got like, he doesn't look particularly strong. He looks like he's one of the locals. He's quite poor, and he kind of hobbles up to you, and says, uh, "Are you here about this? Are you here to aid us?
We could be.
What do you offer?
You look like adventurers."
Gavilan help where Gavilan can.
You must hold some secrets.
Everyone holds secrets.
If you're here to provide assistance, we probably could use it. If you're heading into the jungle, you might want to take a local guide. It's dangerous, even for adventurers like you.
Wouldn't the guide be under threat as well, in that case?
Well, guides know this area better than outsiders. No offense, of course. But since you don't look like you're from around here, just know that if you head too deep into the jungle, there's all sorts of dangers.
What sorts of dangers?
Oh, well, some have seen dragons, some have seen the terror folk.
Who are these terror folk?
Oh, they're lizard folk with wings. Um,
Hmm.
they attack those that are crossing across the bridges. We've had some disappearances among our kind recently. Not that anyone really cares or minds when a few laborers go missing, but it's been happening more and more frequently. People get hauled off into the jungle, never to return.
I see. Ice, I think we found some of your kind. It might be a great family reunion.
He takes a look at,
bird,
he takes a
not
look
a
at you.
lizard.
Well, he shakes his head. Oh, don't seem to be the same kind of winged folk.
They still might get along.
Oh. They don't know about the evolutionary differences between birds and dinosaurs. So you have feathers. These guys didn't have feathers. Although there are feathered dinosaurs as well.
Yeah,
Are
a lot
there?
of the raptors. A lot of the
In
raptors.
D&D. Yep, they're feathered. They have feathers.
Oh. I'll just throw out my mind of raptors that I know of.
Between that and the plague, you'd probably best be heading back into the city.
This guy sounds a little suspicious. Why does he want to like take us into the He wants to guide us, but at the same time, he's kind of like preventing us from
It's
doing
more of a
I'm not
warning.
interested in guiding you. I'm sure you could find a guide if you wanted one, but my leg won't let me go much further out. I'm retired. I just keep an eye on this part of the city.
Were you a guide previously?
Oh, long time ago.
Surely there's some general information you can give us, so that we
What are
don't
you
need to
looking
be
find
looking.
out? What are you looking to find out?
That's a good question. What happens if we just kept going straight from
Oh,
where the road leads off and just continued straight from there? What would be the first danger we encounter?
you're heading straight out of the jungle. First dangers that you'd encounter from here. Let me see if I've got. Let me out of character. I'm going to be looking at a couple different things.
Of course.
So give me one second.
Would we find a stray Gavlon down there? Maybe a few ices.
Wait. I need the big map.
Big map.
Yeah.
Big map. Maybe we find a giant display of maps everywhere down that way.
Very doubtful. It's mostly ruins in this direction. Now, if you head up further north, you're going to hit the water. But then if you head out further to the west, by there it's all jungle. All heat, some ravines and bridges you'd have to cross to get any further out. I wouldn't go out that way unless I had business there.
I
What's in
see.
there?
Thank you. Yep.
What's in there? Well, just all manner and all sorts of things can be found in the jungle. Treasure, danger. I simply wouldn't go as a local without, unless you've had a local to help you find
Hope
your
yes.
way around
Javelin will
because
kind
it's
of
very easy
perk
to
up.
get
It's like,
turned around
if we
out
were
there.
to hire a
If
local,
you,
who would you recommend?
let me see. I've got plenty of lists to look.
Who are your top 10?
I'd recommend heading back into the bars in town and asking around. Though you probably wouldn't have to go far if you just wanted to help out the folks that are here in this part of town. We've had a few disappearances lately, as I mentioned, and many of those get drugged right out to the ziggurat you can see with your eyes from here.
Well, that seems like a generally easier job. We wouldn't have to spend additional money for a guide. Shall we do that?
What do we gain from helping you guys?
True. What do we
Well,
gain?
here and there, we don't have much to offer. But if you visit up with the merchant princes, you might be able to get connected with the guide if you've helped out the city.
Ah, I see. Connections.
Mm. You
Wouldn't
think you might want to
mind.
check out the ruins?
I believe it would be best if we start heading over that way. Wouldn't you agree, party?
Wouldn't mind helping out the locals just to get some connections. Might land us into something better.
Javelin here to help.
Excellent. You all start walking into the old city area, or deeper into the ruins as you go. And you start to see some places where people are like less dense. They're less walking around in that area, and they seem to be avoiding particular areas.
I wonder why they're avoiding those areas.
I'll be honest, I'm more curious about them than not. I'd prefer to venture that way. Always looking for a fight.
You head into the shadow of one of the ziggurats, and behind the ziggurat, you see some bamboo huts that look completely ramshackle and abandoned. Um, make a perception roll using your perception power or stat, whatever it happens to be. So it's wisdom in some cases. Some of you have +0. Some of you have
Don't worry, I rolled the highest.
oh, wonderful,
I
good
have
roll.
not rolled yet. Let's see, what do I got? 13.
13 and 14. Okay. So you have the highest actually, which is good because you're also the ranger, so you gotta get it. What you pick up on the wind is a smell that is very no nice way to put it. It's very hot and it smells like death. It smells like dead bodies over here. It's kind of gross and through it. You know, you can react as you would react.
Blah, it smells like rotten flesh. Ugh. Whatever
then-
is in there is not alive anymore.
Yeah, as she says that, you all start to pick up the whiff of it as well. It seems like, remember he was talking about how there might be a plague?
Right.
Do you want to approach and check it out, or do you want to back off and go elsewhere?
I believe it might be a good idea to at least know of the symptoms. Should we ever encounter someone suffering from that?
You walk up to the bamboo hut. You cover your mouth as necessary, or you just power through the death
Power
smell
through.
as you push your way through. Yeah, power through.
Bird
Um,
Bird flu.
Now the door is shut, of course. But it is a bamboo door. You probably could just break it down.
I break
If you
it
wanted
down.
to. You're gonna break it down?
Yeah.
Make a strength roll just to.
Athletics or just straight strength?
Oh, actually, athletics is good. Yeah.
I almost put in Twitch chat. Can you say-
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Roll in Twitch chat. 18.
Why not?
18. Okay, yeah, you needed a 10. So
Shatter the
you
door.
easily put your
Yeah.
shoulder into it, and the door just cracks and crumbles, and it just falls apart. The minute you break the door down, the smell is way, way worse inside this hut than you thought, than you had on the outside. And you realize that there are dead bodies in this particular hut. And then the dead bodies start to move. So roll for initiative, which is a roll.
boy.
Yay, I got us in a fight.
Wait, we do a d20?
Yep. And then you add your initiative modifier, which is going to be right here on your screen in large number.
Let's go. I got it.
So you have a 13.
Yep.
Wait, initiate?
Initiative is this big.
Ah,
If you're
okay,
looking at
okay.
my screen, it's this big box right here.
Do I do +3?
Yes.
Yes.
+3 because you're very fast.
Well, I'm not fast enough.
And
What
I
happened
will
to this?
roll for zombies. Zombies are not very
D20.
fast at all.
Nice job, Goblin. Perfect.
Oh, you rolled a 1. Of course, my dice are doing extremely well. The game really,
That's
really
incredible.
likes me today. Zombies have a -1, but you know what?
You're still going first.
I'm still going first.
Am I a zombie? Question.
Yeah.
The answer
no,
is
you're
yes.
not a
I think that's my
zombie.
question. Brains, that
No,
thing I have
I'm
none of.
wrong. They have a -2 to initiative. That means I'm going on 15, but you're going
Still
on
faster.
13,
Yeah.
and I still have 11, and then you're going on 1s, right?
Heck
Is that
yeah.
right? 1s? Nice, very nice. Okay, so you guys are a little bit surprised by the fact that the corpses got up and decided to attack you. There appear to be, actually, I will roll to see how many there are.
17,000.
No, not that many. I'm feeling dangerous. There's
Rip and tear.
3 zombies in this room, so 1 for each of you. They
Lovely.
start to get up and they attack each one of you individually. I will just go around and each of you gets a zombie on you. Nasty, nasty stuff. So
Sounds
let
good.
me
Nasty
roll
man.
first. Actually, we'll just take this in initiative order. So
I'm just imagining
Lance?
like Final Fantasy scene right now where we're just there in
Yeah.
like idle mode, just
Squared up
hopping up and
1-to-1.
down.
Yeah, we gotta wait till they attack us. That's how it works.
D&D combat is turn-based, obviously, because of the dice method. So it is a
Yeah.
little bit like wait and go in some
Mhm.
cases, but that's classic RPGs for you.
But a whole round takes place in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Right, a whole round is 6 seconds.
So we
That's
idle for
theoretical
5 of those
possible.
seconds, we T-pose, and then we attack with the last second. Obviously.
Got it.
So that's me and
The zombies T-pose after this, so you're good.
I mean, we need to assert dominance somehow.
I rolled an 11 to hit Mercury. I don't
Nope,
think that's gonna hit
that does
you.
not.
Yeah, it does not, because you have a 16 AC.
Yes.
So I will move
I
down
have
to the
armor?
next. Yes,
I
you
do.
do.
It's
I
in the
also
shield.
rolled an 11 to hit you.
I have a
Let's see what
13.
your armor. You have a 13. So here's how this works. Since I rolled worse than your armor class, and zombies don't have any special. They're pretty pushover-ish in terms of enemies. That doesn't hit you.
Yay!
So you're fine. It bounces off your armor. Last roll. Oh, that's a 9. That's not going to hit you either, I don't think.
Nope,
You have
11.
You have an 11 AC, which isn't super high, but the 9 still doesn't hit you. So these zombies get up and they stumble over toward you as you bust into the room, but they claw at you. It's pretty ineffectual. They kind of just lumbered over. They're very slow, so it doesn't seem like any of you are hurt, even though you are being attacked. So now Mercury's the first person to go on initiative, so you go ahead and roll your attack, and we'll see how much damage you roll.
Do you mind if I be creative?
Absolutely, always be creative.
Okay. Can I plant my lay on hands on one of them and hope that like does a burst of like power to damage them?
Oh, okay. Wait, don't you have a necrotic lay on hands?
Not yet. Mine's just radiant for now.
Oh, it's just radiant damage?
So I have healing hands and lay on hands, but mine's radiant. The one I was planning to use.
I'll allow it. We'll do Final Fantasy rules where you can heal away
Heal
the
the
damage,
dead.
but that does use up your lay on hands.
Of course.
We'll do it. Of course. So what would you roll for? Does it automatically touch?
It's just an action to place my hands on them, and then I can spend as many points as I want, and I want to spend all 5.
You're gonna spend all 5? Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
So
damn.
you do 5 points?
Yeah, 5 points of radiant, and then if they're vulnerable, it'd become 10.
Okay, great.
Is
10
this an
points.
AoE or
Just
No, it would
one
only
person.
The one that you touched.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So you hit it with radiant damage. Seems to do pretty decently. It hisses, it reels back. It's still like standing up. I'd say you have to make an attack roll though. Yeah, these zombies have quite a few hit points, so it doesn't do like as much as you. It doesn't like instantly nuke it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You probably will still have to like attack it further. But you stunned it for sure.
Cool. Thank you.
Quality.
Next is Ice. What are you gonna do?
I think I might just get it over with and attack them.
Okay. Are you gonna get into melee or are you gonna shoot your bow? Which is totally fine, by the way. I'm not gonna penalize you if you want to shoot into the room.
I feel like melee would be better just because I just noticed I have 200 arrows. And I feel like I don't want to waste it on these.
That's also true.
Can't waste a few arrows on these guys.
I usually let players like 50-50 retrieve arrows when I play with rangers, but
Oh.
I think you would be able to. I think you would be in close quarters right now, with it being a small hut and everything. So melee is probably not a bad idea.
Okay. How do I
roll a d20?
D20.
Yep, just like before.
R1.
And the good thing about zombies is they're very easy to hit. They do have more HP than you'd think, but they're pretty easy to hit usually. Okay, so you rolled a 14, which is enough to hit. You don't even need dodge or bonuses because you only need an 8 or higher to hit the zombie. They're really slow. So you hit the zombie with your sword, and go ahead and roll. It is a d6, I believe.
Yes. 1d6. Do I go +3 then?
Yes, because it's a finesse weapon. So you have done 8 damage. Very good. So that
Does that
zombie.
just kill it?
Nope, it's still alive. Well, it's still unalive. I mean, they're dead, but
They're
But-
still existing.
it looks about as badly hurt. It looks hurt a little bit worse than the one that just got the light to the face. So you hack it pretty good. You give it a pretty good hack. Okay. Next. Ku, you're the last to go, but you're the last one left. So
Incredible. We'll attempt to take a swing at the neck. Let's see, 7, and then I'm +3, so 10.
okay, so you
Forgot to
still
add it
hit.
in there.
Go ahead and take your damage. Go ahead and roll your
I believe
damage.
what was it? Was a D8, I believe. So D8 +3.
Yeah, because you have a longsword.
So D8 +3.
Unless you're dual wielding it,
Not-
or sorry, using
not
both
3d8.
hands.
I did wrong button. My bad.
Oh,
Ku, are you using
So-
both hands? Because if you're using both hands on it, then it would be a D10.
oh, good point.
Right above my shield, so yeah, 2 hands. So
Oh,
Oh,
you're using
okay.
a shield, so then yeah, it's just
I
D8.
don't think I am using a shield. I don't think I am.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I don't think you are.
Yeah, I don't think I have a shield. So yeah, I would be
D10.
counting it. So 7 still works. That's fine.
7,
7 +3 is 10. So
10 points of damage. Okay, got it. That one looks pretty hurt too. They're all still moving, so they're gonna all get another round of attacks on you guys. And I will just roll those in the same order that I rolled them before.
Sounds good.
Oh, I rolled a 20. Sorry.
Yay!
Sorry.
Hit me!
And I got a 17 and
Ow.
an 11. Well, this time all of those hit except for I think the 11 misses.
Yeah.
You have an 11 AC. I always give the defender when it's a AC.
Okay.
So you're safe, but the other two are getting hit. And you got a nat 20, which means I hit, but I might actually crit.
Yep.
No crit. So just regular damage, but it is it is full damage. So the zombies, they're a little bit mad now, especially since you just used light on like a radiant weapon, like you used radiant light right in his face. So
Yes.
it's really, really upset. So that's really made it pissed off. So it's just gonna attack you with its claws, and it hisses and it grabs into you with the claws. And it does 1d6. 1 point. Well, for the crit, it's gonna do max damage, so it's gonna do 6 damage.
Okay.
The other ones, it's not double because it wasn't a crit.
What type of damage is that?
It is basic slashing damage.
Got it.
So there's no like confirming crits. Like, yeah, I usually confirm crits. But I double damage if it confirms. Otherwise, just regular.
Mhm.
That's how I always play it. But depends.
Fair.
People have
That's good
different
with it.
people have different home rules, by the way, about crits and stuff. I do not do critical failures, which is a one fails, but it doesn't. I've had DMs where they like if you crit fail, it also does something like break your weapon or something like that. But I find that to be not fun and kind of embarrassing to deal with, so I don't do crit fails.
Gotta go repair my weapon. Start.
Yeah, because it I feel like it penalizes people who take more attacks and take more risks to do crit fails essentially.
Mhm.
We got
And
our
I don't want to
paradox.
penalize people for taking risks. I think people should be creative and do what they want to do. So,
Yeah, this is literally the first time I lay on hands on an undead person, so.
hey, why not? It's fun. I let you do it. You know, they might not be rules as written, but it's a cool idea. So, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah,
Mhm.
you're already penalized by failing the attack. Exactly. Like if a one is already an automatic fail, you don't want to like throw more. But later on, like fighters will get like maybe 5 attacks a round or something.
Mhm.
At that
You
point,
can do
the chance of
8,
you rolling a
actions.
1, yeah. The chance of you rolling a 1 is really high. So it doesn't seem fair to the fighters to penalize you for rolling a 1 that badly. Because it'll happen. It's a 1 in 20 chance. It's not that rare of a thing to have happen. So that's why I don't do crit fails. I only do crit successes. Guess someone make an attack roll for lay on hands trick. Well, the downside of that, since it's fixed damage, they don't actually have a radiant weakness. So even though he's pissed off about it, it doesn't do additional damage. Yeah. Oh, what was I doing? I was doing damage.
You already did damage to me. Yep.
Yeah. So
It's
you
Ice
did
now.
damage,
Who's taking
and
damage?
then Ice's damage is going to be a 3 on the die, which is a +1. So you take 4 points of damage. So your character sheet should have your hit points on it. So just write down here, since you're at 11 minus 4, just take your current HP, like so.
Oh, so would mine be 6 plus 1, so I'm technically taking 7 damage?
Yeah, so you're at
Okay.
11 right now.
Yeah,
so...
I'd go down to 4. I just want to make sure.
Okay, yeah. So you got pretty good hack there, but you'll get another shot at him there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Q will roll for your damage. So that's 5 plus 1, so you take 6 damage.
I thought I wasn't going. I thought you said defender's advantage.
Oh no, that's right. You didn't get hit. My bad.
You're me.
Brainwave. Okay,
Oh,
you are
yeah.
missed. So I'm not gonna make you roll initiative order. We'll just go back down the line again. Mercury, you got hit pretty bad there, but you're still kicking.
Yep.
What's next?
Let's kick more things. Great sword.
All right.
15?
15 definitely hits. So go ahead and do your damage,
You're gonna...
which I think is
Pop up.
2d6.
Yeah.
Oh.
I typed it in. It didn't want to, but
Oh, okay.
I'll do it again. Because it's 2d6 plus 3. There we go. 11.
11. Okay. You hack at him. He falls down. It looks like it's still moving because zombies have to make a Constitution saving throw to see if they actually die or not. And since that wasn't radiant damage this time, which is the one thing that matters, nope. It looks like he doesn't succeed.
It's squirming a little bit, so I just plant my sword through its neck while it's on the ground.
Yep. So it's flailing around a little bit, and you put the sword in it and twist the sword, and it stops moving. Ice, your turn.
Oh, I haven't taken damage yet.
Oh, it was before you took 4
7.
points.
4 damage.
Yeah, you
4.
took 4.
Okay. How do
Yeah,
I
'cause it was
do
3
the
plus
math
1.
thing again?
So your max HP is 11, so your current HP would be 7.
Right, math.
Yeah, manual math.
Basic math, not difficult math.
I suck at subtraction.
You're gonna get really good at it today.
Yeah. Boy, howdy.
I guess I'll just continue hacking
Slashing?
at it with my
Yep.
sword.
Probably the
Sword.
best way. Probably the best way to go.
So it's a D20.
Yep. Oh, so that's that
There it
that's
is.
that fail. So that automatically misses, but nothing else bad happens.
Darn it!
You do miss though, unfortunately.
How dare it
Okay.
sidestep me?
I
So
know!
slow.
How dare it!
To the-
Slow.
It lurched to the side like at the last possible second, and its little claw drags on the ground, but you don't actually hit it that time. So next is a fighter.
Amazing. Let's see. This is d20 plus 5, so 11 plus 5, 16.
Oh, you rolled 16?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, staring. I didn't see the plus 5, so I was like, wait, okay. So yeah, you hit it 16. Do your damage.
And we're two-handing this, so this is a d8. I actually know how to add the pluses to the rolls, so on here.
You can just roll that number plus.
Because
I just type in a command.
Pluses. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
7
you can
plus 3,
type.
so 10.
You can do like roll 1d, like just as an example, plus 3 like that, and it'll actually just do the thing.
Yeah,
Because
here.
it's kind
I'll like
I see.
put it in where it's just slash roll and then
yeah,
keep trying.
Yeah.
and whatever it is, but it doesn't either way, or you could use the little thing on the side.
Yeah.
So what's your plus on that? Plus it's 7 plus
3.
3, so 10 points of damage. Okay, that one is still up. It's like he's kind of wobbling a little bit, but he's not completely downed yet. So we're gonna have 2 zombies still up next round. That one you're fighting is gonna go for you, and Ice, you still have one that you're facing down as well. So the good news though is since Mercury's zombie is dead, he can help you out with the ones that are on you. So let's have this 2 roll. Oh, I rolled a 1, so I completely fail to hit Bird, and I rolled a 2, so no damage this round by the zombies.
Amazing.
I like how it's just Ice's singular combat is just like rolling that ones right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a 1, and then the zombie had a 1, and now they're just kind of slap fighting each other.
Slap
it's
fight.
not super effective,
Slap
but
boxing, just kind of.
might be an opportunity for you to slide in there and finish the zombie off.
Yep. So let me just put my greatsword through there. I got a 9.
Ooh, a 9. Fortunately, that's enough to hit. You'll need an 8.
Yep.
So go ahead and roll damage.
Oops, wrong thing. Roll 2d6 plus 3. 12.
12. That is enough to kill it. So that one goes down. But I do get my Constitution roll to see if I'm still unalive or not. Ooh, I technically beat your damage, so it's still moving. It's flailing around. It's still kind of weak, but it's still moving around. Basically, it's still alive-ish. Unalive. It's still unalive.
Ice, finish it off.
You'll have to do that next turn, or Ice can finish it off.
Yeah, Ice can.
Sorry, Ice finish it off. I thought you said I finish it off. All right, Ice, you can finish it off.
Take a sword into its head because I hate it. I have to roll. See if I miss.
As a paladin, it's a good thing for you to hate.
Oh,
Yes.
super good roll. Excellent. You got an 18.
And
So
then
just do a little bit of damage, and we'll see. It literally only has 1 hit point left, so all I have to do is. So you whack at it one more time, and it seems to stop moving. You think?
Oh yay!
Yay!
That leaves us with 1 left.
All right. We'll
All right, Goblin, you got this. We'll sit back and watch.
Question.
We'll kinda give it-
Question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. How come the 17 still counts as it being dead though, even though you're higher than me?
Because I've decided we're ready to move on from this encounter.
Got it.
DM said so. Join us above.
If I had rolled it, that's a pretty high roll, so I probably would have it's probably still moving a little bit, but I think between the two of you, you could probably stick a boot in its head.
There's a snake in my boot.
Just step on
The
it.
other one still has some hit points left, though.
Yep. I'm gonna swing on it. I'm gonna try to give it the coup de grace.
All right.
So we're gonna 14.
All right. Let me see if it die. Oh, you do the damage because that's gonna hit it.
So let's roll 1d, and it's plus 3 for this. That's a big ol' 11.
11 is good. Let's see if it stays dead. Oh, I still beat your damage. This one we'll say is still up. It's
Damn,
gonna get
resilient.
one more. It's gonna get one more swing on you. That's gonna hit you actually.
That is.
Let's see.
Big
I
ol'
do
15.
1d6.
No, Goblin.
So you take 4 points of damage.
All right, down 8.
I think that's your first damage, though.
That is my first damage, yeah.
Okay, all 3 of you are
We're
still facing
fine.
one very, very persistent zombie. It's missing an arm now, and its leg is gashed and bleeding, but nobody's chopped off its head, so it's still moving around.
Hey, Goblin, do you still need, help, or you think you got it?
Goblin is taking longer than expected.
Okay, but do you need, help, or...
No, Goblin is fine.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go sit on the ziggurat, and I just leave.
Okay, you're just gonna sit back and watch it go down.
Yep.
All right.
I'll prue my feathers.
Okay. I guess it's you can take it out.
Oh boy.
You got this, I believe.
Swing. Okay, that's. Hold
Oh.
on. I did the wrong.
It's like slash roll.
Yeah, slash roll.
I did the wrong
You can
thing.
do it.
I did the wrong thing.
Come on, I believe.
Nope, absolutely not.
Oh my god,
Incredible.
you missed. You missed.
Incredible.
Come on, Goblin, do a bit better.
Oh, it hit you again. And it did 4 points of damage. Actually, 5 points of damage. How much health do you have left?
Oh no!
I still have 3 points.
Oh,
left.
you still have. You're a fighter. You're good.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good.
5 points of damage. This one's very tenacious. This one's very
It's
stubborn.
very aggressive.
You might want to do second wind. Is that
It's
first?
fine. I can do a bonus action if I miss again.
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, Goblin, do a bit better. Come on.
Yeah, we're just gonna swing again.
Swing a little higher.
Okay, go for it. Go for it.
There we go.
Oh, that hit.
Yay.
Okay, that hit. All you have to do is kill 1 hit point worth.
Oh boy, can I? I mean, I literally can't not do one. So
No, you'll definitely do 1.
But the Constitution save.
Well, it depends. It does get a con save on, but it's a DC of 5 plus, so we tied, so that's good enough. Oh, by the way, with that, it's actually 5 plus the damage, so it has to be higher. It has to be fairly high of a save. So that one finally goes down. Um,
Yay.
it took a little bit more time than expected, but you managed to kill it or re-kill it, I guess, as the case may be.
Good job, Goblin. Just
Oh.
clap.
You guys are pretty beat up. But you notice these particular zombies have pretty long, like, claws on their hands. Is what they were actually attacking you with. So whatever it was that like resurrected them was something a little bit weird because their hands are like kind of mutated. That was why they did so much damage when they actually hit you.
Mm-hmm. Goblin
Mutated
thinks we should not
zombies?
open random doors.
I second.
All right. Then Mercury's like jumps up. It's like, oh shit, I gotta examine these. All right, let's see what we got here. What caused all this? What are the symptoms?
Okay. Make a medicine roll.
Let's see how good I am at medicine. I am slightly better at medicine than the average person, so
You've got some medicine skills.
slightly better. 17.
Oh, really, really good. So yeah, you notice right away. Of course, they are obviously dead. They have vicious-looking claws that extend from their rotted fingertips. You also notice that there were a few iron chains, and when you examine the wrist of these zombies, at one point they were actually manacled to the ground, so they seem to have been cut loose or at some point. Um, and there's bits of other bodies around, as if they were chewing or eating on some people that are here. So you see like a leg, you see an arm, you see a large dead pig over in one corner. So there's also like eating livestock and animals. And so you think that they maybe were put in here on purpose by somebody? Ooh, we've moved to the Baldur's Gate soundtrack.
Yeah.
Suddenly noticed that.
So, team, this was purposeful. There's like no doubt in my mind. This was done on purpose. It's not really an illness, or it doesn't seem like it, because they were literally chained to the ground.
You think someone's been experimenting on them?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, or like a good belief to have. We just need to find who that is.
Ooh, like sacrifice. Because they're chained, right?
Do you want to explore the hut further now that you're inside?
Sure. Let's explore the hut a little more.
Mm-hmm.
In the back, there is a door headed downward that is locked.
Well,
Whoa.
you okay?
Yeah, sorry. Your mic kind of just
Oh, Mike,
spiked for a
check,
second.
Mike check.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We good?
Sorry,
I'm gonna
it
drink
just
some
shocked me
water
for a
while you
second.
decide what to do.
Get her. Hit a little bit of shock and awe.
We good now?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
1d thunder damage.
Yeah, that was just D4 thunder damage. Vicious mockery. Well, actually, that would be psychic damage. Anyways, well,
Emotional damage.
emotional damage. I'm about to emotional damage this door unless anyone else has better ideas.
Is there like a pick locking skill or something?
There is.
You
Can I use
yeah.
one of my like one of my little feathers or something to pick lock things?
You sure can. To pick this particular lock, you need to make a DC 12 dexterity check. But first, make a perception check using a +2.
Now you're thinking like a D&D player.
I'm thinking like the barbarian, almost like beat down the door. We're good.
Just smack it, yeah.
Yeah.
Both
Alright,
of those are
D20,
valid
right?
options. Yes.
And then
All
plus
right,
dex,
plus-
which is 3,
plus
so
3. 15.
heck yeah.
Okay. So you have a 15. Make your perception check as well, which is a D20 +2. Okay, great. 15. So you have 15 on both of those rolls.
Quality.
So you notice as you're getting ready to pick the lock that there's actually a latch, and you think that this lock might be trapped. Do you want to continue to try to pick the lock anyway?
I turned to my teammates and was like, I think I might be in trouble if I open this.
Why's that? It's just
Well,
a
that or you
door.
have to disarm the trap potentially.
Do I have any disarm skills?
You
Is
can
that
do that.
survival?
No, that's still a wisdom. Oh wait, I'm sorry. It is still a dexterity check to
Mhm.
disarm the trap. So you can
Sleight of
use your
hand.
same feather to disarm the trap that you were using to pick the lock.
Sure. I have high dex. I believe in myself.
You
Okay.
just gotta believe.
Just don't make it explode in our face and we'll be fine.
So just a perception or a
A
dexterity check?
dexterity. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really good
Yay!
roll. Okay.
Let's
So not only
go.
do you notice the trap, it's basically like a little needle inside the lock. So if you were to put your tool in there without first disarming the needle, it would have jabbed you in the hand, in the finger while you were disarming. So you reach in and you wiggle around in there and you break the needle first, and then you open the latch. And the latch in the floor opens up.
Ta-da!
Very good.
Did good work.
Yay! Feathers.
Yay, feathers.
Now, who wants to go first into the interior below the hut?
I'll head in.
Certainly not Gavlan.
I think we're all a little low on health at the moment. I have like
A little.
4,
Little.
but I want to go
That's
first.
fair.
Fuck it, this is a
I'm
one
gonna
shot.
use a
Kill
two.
me.
You'll go
You
in
know
first?
what? That's
Okay.
valid. This
Okay.
is in fact a one shot.
You go down into the darkness. It is indeed a pitch dark area. Who has dark vision on their character? Let me double
Nope.
check.
I do.
Nope.
How do we know?
It would be on your sheet, although I think it's probably only the paladin.
It's
who
me.
has dark vision. Yeah.
Yeah, Asamars have dark
But
vision.
you can always light a candle or a torch. All right. Have a good night, VBB. Thank you for coming. Thank you all for coming out and watching. By the way, those of you that are here in the chat, I always appreciate all of you. So thank you so much.
Thanks, random
You're welcome,
people.
yeah.
Thank
And
you.
VB's been a great help in
Randos.
like getting me set up here. So we were really talking about what to do, and so I think we'll definitely be running more games in the future.
Nice.
And I'd love to be a part of that if you're willing to have me.
This has actually been really fun so far. I hope you all are having a good time. So you go down into the darkness. You're going first, so you can see and you see that there are some candles down here. They're just not lit. So you could potentially light them for the others if you wanted.
Sure, can I just use my light spell to light them?
Oh, yeah. You could just use a light spell if you want. You just
Boop.
create a little ball of light.
I'll specifically do those on the candles, though. I'm not doing it on myself.
Oh, okay.
Specifically the candles.
Beautiful. Okay, so she goes down into the darkness and waves her hand over the candles and lights them up. Very dramatic. Yeah, that's super cool. And so they're glowing. They're not actually lit with fire, but they just look like they're lit candles, so it kind of has the same effect.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you are down in the basement, you see a small table and a few chairs and a small desk and a bed. The air in here, as you would imagine, is very stale. It smelled terrible upstairs. Downstairs, it doesn't smell as bad, but it just is very stagnant because there's no windows, obviously, down here, and it's just warm and icky. But yeah, you see a desk, you see a bed, and some chairs and a table in here. Nothing attacks you in this room.
Goblin will go investigate the desk, see if
Okay.
there's anything on the just on it.
You go over to the desk, and on top of the desk is a small book. Make a, say, Arcana or Religion roll, which I know those are not your best, but you do have a +1. No, -1. I'm sorry. Make a roll at -1.
Yeah, I think it's just any roll at -1. It's literally both.
Your intelligence.
Don't worry, in my current character I'm playing in a D&D campaign, I have a -3 to athletics. It's fantastic.
Amazing.
Oh,
It
that's
doesn't matter.
awesome.
We just rolled a 20.
You rolled
so
a
it doesn't matter.
20.
Nice.
Yay!
20. So you automatically succeed at what you see. Okay. So wow, good job. For some reason, you totally understand it immediately. You don't know why. This book bears the symbol of Azuth, the god of arcane knowledge. Next to it is a collection of handwritten pages. Identifying those pages, they seem to be used in some sort of ritual. Surprise, surprise.
I knew it.
So you recognize the symbol and you recognize that this is some kind of ritual writing. At the very end, you see a letter, which I actually have a physical handout of this letter because I'm fancy. Let me see if I
You're a
can put it up.
nerd, a cool nerd.
I'm a nerd. It looks like
Hell
this.
yeah.
Ooh.
This is what it looks like.
Another night with dreams of serpents. I know I should deliver the relic as promised, but it calls to me. Now Zuth's name, it calls to me through my dreams, and has led me to my lair beneath the walls of the ziggurat. But what if I'm wrong? Would the gods wish me to walk such a path? Perhaps this is the true path to an eternal knowledge? Perhaps my teacher was wrong all this time. I must see this through and finish my work. Should I not return? I have joined with those I have brought with me into the dark unknown. Diplo.
Viplo. Signed, Viplo.
Diplo.
And
Diplo.
on the back of this
Cute name.
parchment is a drawing of 3 circles, an arrow, and they're drawn basically in a triangle pattern. So I'll just use this here to draw it. So say there's 3 circles. There's a circle. And then there's an arrow pointing to the bottom left circle. So it's just extremely subtle. Looks like
Yeah.
that.
Just a little subtle arrow.
Very
Yeah.
subtle arrow. Very, very subtle little arrow. Like so.
Hmm.
The desk is also locked.
Goblin
Why
will
does
obviously
everything-
share this information because, yeah.
Want to just break the lock?
Pass the letter around.
Why is everything locked?
It's more
This
fun
guy's-
if things are locked. We gotta break it.
Do you not lock your things? Do you not?
I don't
Do you
lock
not?
my desk.
Oh.
Well, you should start doing that.
Maybe there's something in there.
Oh, that kind of lock. I thought you meant like the desk was physically chained onto the ground.
Oh no, it's a
Incredible.
drawer. It's got a locked drawer in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this person's just really fond of chains. There's chains everywhere.
I mean, I don't question what they do in their free time.
Neither do I.
Okay. That makes sense.
Do you want to try and pick that lock open?
Sure.
All right, do another
I
one of
whipped
those
out another
D20
handy
rolls.
dandy
Feather pick. I like the feather lock pick. That's a really good
Yeah.
trick.
If you do that too often, you might lose all your feathers.
Oh, unfortunately, that does not open
Wait,
it. Does
is that
anybody else
plus
wanna-
3?
Oh wait, plus. Oh, that's right. It's plus 3. Never mind. That opens it. You got it.
Yay.
Forgot about your plus 3. Yes, plus 3 is enough to open it. So you click and open up the desk. Inside the desk is an ivory scroll case.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Hey guys, I found something.
What is it?
It's an ivory something.
A scroll case.
A scroll case.
Lovely. None of us are wizards. I don't think we can use that.
Well,
magic.
you can still open it up.
We could, but I'm checking out this bed and just laying on it.
Okay, that's true. You can also take a short rest and recover some hit points if you want.
Just vibing on someone's bed.
Oh.
Yeah, just vibing on someone's bed. They're not here. There are zombies guarding the door, so.
They are not here. They're either in the place where they said they were going to be, or doing some other.
Hey, this is free lodging. We still haven't paid anywhere for room.
Oh, that is true.
That's true. That's true.
Can I sit on a bed and like heal up while also trying to open the thing up?
Yeah,
Can I multitask?
you can take a short rest, which will allow you to recover some hit points.
Sure, we can do that.
So let's
Yeah, let's
do
go do that. I don't think anyone's coming back.
Doesn't seem like it, and at least while you're down here, you're kind of protected from whoever might, unless the person who owns this place happens to wander by, which doesn't seem like that's going to be the case.
We did just break and enter, so.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, they're probably like at their creepy ritual site by now. Maybe.
Yeah.
Also
Who
true.
knows?
They probably also think that we died from the trap, or
Um,
is in pain from the trap door thing.
All
Sorry,
right.
what am I supposed to roll?
sorry, I was looking up I'm used to the Baldur's Gate short rest rules where you just recover all your hit points, but I'm looking up to see rules is written to make
It's
sure-
hit die.
because it's hit die. Yeah, it's one of your hit dice. So whatever your hit die happens to be, which is
D8 for
your,
ranger.
a D8 for a ranger, or you have
D10 for fighter.
1d10 for a fighter. Yeah, right. So you roll that to
Oh.
see how many hit points you recover.
Mine's a D10.
Oh, yours a
Yours
D10.
is D10. All right, there you go. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Wait,
so roll
ranger
a
is
D10,
D10?
and you recover that many hit points.
Woo!
Hell
Full
yeah.
health.
Oh, you're fully recovered.
For me, I'm one off from full, but I'm doing pretty
I
good.
got
One off from full.
4.
Okay, so you're at
Do
10.
better, Goblin. Rest better.
You got 4. Oh, you didn't rest very good. How many hit points do you
Got
have?
it.
Does that leave you with?
7.
7. Okay.
I'm at
Goblin
10.
knows no risk. Goblin wheel, Goblin deal.
Goblin.
True.
Goblin want no rest.
I feel like you should be closer to a barbarian, but yeah.
Oh well, he's just a dumb fighter. We have a really intelligent party. No wizards or anything in this party.
hmm
Nah.
Um,
I chose to make my intelligence to 0, so.
Inside the scroll case is a scroll of healing word and a scroll of protection from evil or good.
Ooh.
I've heard of
If
both
you
of those
can't make
spells.
use of those, you can sell them or trade them for something else if you want, depending on what you want to do. The scroll case itself also is made of ivory, so it's kind of a nice item. It's probably worth a little bit of money. If you want to trade the whole kit and caboodle for something, you probably could back in the Merchant's Guild or something like that. But at least you've rested and recovered some hit points. So now you
I have a
choice
question.
to make.
If I
Yeah.
can't do any skill or can't do any spells, how come my standard actions has a thing called cast a spell?
You cannot
just
level
default.
2.
Rangers do eventually get spells.
Oh.
But that also applies to basically any character. But there is actually a ranger spell list, so they don't start out with many spells, but eventually you can learn to cast spells as a ranger.
Hunter's Mark.
You are what they call a half caster.
Yeah.
And as am I.
Half caster. I just have the ability to cast things.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So, as you would level up as a ranger, you would get access to the ranger spell list, which would give you the ability to cast certain spells to help you. Like, they're all like nature flavored spells, but that's kind of the idea.
Okay. Are we stuck at level 1? Are we doing like a level 1 run, or do you get like experience from the enemy we just fought?
So there's 2 different ways to do experience in D&D. These characters are set up milestone, doesn't really matter. But early on, like the DM can just say, okay, you guys level up because you completed the adventure. So for this particular adventure, you'll be level 1, and then if you were to adventure again with these same characters, you'd be level 2 because you could just declare milestone.
Yeah.
When I typically run a campaign, I usually do experience points. So I do hand out experience points like per enemies and like per challenges and stuff. But milestone's kind of a simpler way if you're just interested in like keeping things apace with the story. So what I would say basically is like after this adventure, you'd be level 2, and then you would level your characters up. Does that make sense?
So after this adventure, is that like after this one shot, or is it like just?
Since
Okay,
this is
gotcha.
a one shot, it doesn't really matter. But
Okay. Gotcha.
But if you were to continue to play, like because this is a valid Adventurer's Guild module, which it technically is, you could keep these characters and continue to play them if you wanted. But it's just an option. But it's just kind of one of those like if you want to keep playing, you can.
Gotcha. Okay.
I have an RPGA number. Technically, I have the authority to level you up universally, but
That's fun.
I can say you're level 2.
Come on, level 1 to 20. This whole.
Which is not a DCRI number. It is not an Adventurer's Guild number because they changed the system twice.
Quality.
Yeah, RPGA is like, I don't know, turn of the century shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm an ancient vampire, so that's why. But
I've
anyway,
seen it all.
what are y'all doing?
Goblin suggests we take stuff and try to find ritual site.
Should we take the bed?
Mhm. Take the
I
bed.
don't.
Are
Can we
you
even
going to
take the
carry it?
bed?
I can carry it.
What are you?
Probably not, but I could.
Don't use it as a shield.
It actually might be worth more as a shield. It's pretty dusty.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I'm down to move on. Grab all the loot here and see what
Well,
else is around.
The only loot you found was that scroll case in the desk. It doesn't seem like he took any others. Oh, and of course the book, if you want to take that.
We could also take the desk. It's
Alright.
not chained down, so.
I mean,
Just-
This
it's gonna
isn't
be hard.
Skyrim.
It's gonna be hard to get that desk up the ladder.
There's two of us with a good
It
strength
probably was
set.
easier to put
I
it down here
mean,
than it was to
I
get
can
up.
take
but,
the
you can-
desk and I can fly up with it if you really want the
It's a pretty
desk.
big desk.
Let's just take everything in this room. Let's be loot goblins. I want the
Just
bed
goes
in
up with that.
addition to, like, the bed frame.
You are
Ooh,
looting
can we just take the mattress
the
then?
furniture.
We could also just take the mattress.
In
That's why I was thinking of just taking as a shield,
Mattress.
in quotes.
All right. You can take the desk if you truly want. I would, and the mattress, but you can't. The bed frame is. What are you doing with?
I love how fast this derailed.
Well, yeah, that's D&D for you.
Sometimes I'm very good at
I'm not
that.
using this. I'm not using that. Actually, seriously though, sincerely, do you guys decide to try to take the desk out?
I'm taking the bed.
Taking the
He's
bed.
taking the
I'm taking the bed.
Taking the mattress.
Yeah, we'll
taking
just
the
take the.
mattress.
Yeah, we'll just
I
take the
will
bed.
specifically use it as like a tower shield for one hit, and then I'm getting rid of it.
Okay.
Incredible.
You take the creepy guy's mattress and you haul it out of the shack.
Gotta stick it to
You
him.
you walk past the undead guards. Sorry, I'm gonna take a drink of water here.
Everyone hydrate.
Fuck that guy, am I right? Gotta steal his mattress. No place to sleep.
Hydrate break. And you
Hydrate
head
break.
out of the hut.
Oh no.
And now you are gonna head where?
Do we know where they? Obviously, either the ritual site is relative to us, or like the three circles with the one having the arrow, which I assume is the ritual site.
What the ziggurat?
Good question. He said it was at the ziggurat, right?
Is there only one ziggurat, or are there multiple?
There's two. I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There is two. Do you want to simply investigate and see if you can find what you're looking for?
I like going on a treasure hunt. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. Maybe let's just go through both, just in case.
Okay.
Even if it turns out the first ziggurat's the right one, let's do a second. We can...
So you paced around both of the ziggurats. Let's have some perception rolls from everybody.
All right.
Cool.
Plus 0, right? Yeah.
What was
14.
again? Plus
14.
I got 14, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Hey,
20. Oh, amazing.
Goblin's got hawk eyes, apparently.
Yeah. No,
He's not carrying the mattress. Makes sense.
That's, you know what? That would
that's
help.
true. That's true. Oh, 20. Oh my gosh, you guys are
Yeah.
cracked. Excellent rolls.
I
Okay,
can't
so
see around
Got
this
my gacha
mattress.
luck on this.
The gacha luck.
Gacha luck's
Fuck.
been trash again lately, I'll tell you.
I need that
well,
for
you-
the Chino.
You only needed a 12, so you all totally nailed it. As you walk around the second ziggurat, you notice in the bottom terrace there is the same pattern of 3 circles, just like this.
Kind of look back and forth at them. Kind of like, is that looks oddly familiar?
Yeah, well, clearly, that means this one's the right one. So we should check out the first ziggurat first.
Oh, okay. You walk around. You check it out.
Do the right thing.
do a
They
little-
might have.
Exactly, let's do the first ziggurat, because the second one's definitely where we gotta go.
if we get a
one
second
is
match,
definitely the one. Yeah.
if we get a second matches, we can play Unga Bunga.
That's true. You could.
That's what might be in the first ziggurat, obviously. Come on.
Oh, you head back to the northern. Or you head back to the northern ziggurat. You look around. You don't see anything that matches the symbol that you saw before. So this doesn't seem to be the place. It does seem to be the southern one.
Is there a second mattress though? No, I'm joking.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Second.
Nothing special about the other ziggurat. Only this one.
Okay.
It was
Well,
worth a try.
I have to go back, I guess.
Yeah.
There isn't an arrow on the other one. There's just these 3. They're carved into the base of it.
You know, I'm very determined to get the second mattress, so maybe we should just head back to town, rent out a room, pull the mattress from that room, and push it out the window, and then we'll pick it up and come back.
No, but we have to pay to enter the inn in the first
Yeah.
place. I
You
don't
have to
want to
rent a
spend money.
room. You could trade the scrolls.
Nah.
Is that no?
Okay.
One of them is actually a good
Chinese thing.
scroll, especially with what just we want. Fuck, I can't
That's true.
speak.
They are good. They are good. They are useful scrolls.
Mm-hmm. Let's just go back to the second ziggurat and try to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Trying to
alright.
figure out the circle.
I mean, I'm not trying to railroad you or anything. You could go follow a completely
No.
different adventure hook if you want. I've got a whole book of them.
Let's just jump right into the forest. I want to go to that ravine. No.
You want to go to the ravine?
Yeah, we're gonna go to the ravine. All right. Okay, that's chapter 3.
It's our quest to play Unga Bunga in D&D.
I like that that's chapter 3, but we're at chapter 4.
Yeah, they're kind of a weird order. But yeah. I think I'm not kidding. I think that actually is chapter 3. But you can do these in any order you want, which is kind of the beauty of this one.
Of course.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I think my OBS crashed.
Oh
Ooh,
no.
Oops.
Oh, trust me, that's something I've been dealing with this afternoon as well.
Where
Has
does
it?
chapter
Damn.
3 start?
OBS loves me so much. It crashes at least a few times per stream.
That's unfortunate.
I think I've had one time where it didn't crash at all. And holy shit, that was amazing. I think that one was also one of my best streams too, but
Weird.
it might be coincidental. I was
it
playing
was
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Just maybe.
I'm having the not like this emote show up.
Not like this.
Let me know if you need a second to get your stuff back in order.
Can it be your email giving me a pat, please?
I can check and see if you're still alive.
No, both streams are dead.
Kagi
Oh,
is not,
oops, rip.
For me, it's just.
To
Oh,
get,
sorry.
to get back on, you need it.
Well,
you need to
rip the
redo your
YouTube
tech.
side.
Okay.
YouTube will deal with it.
Yeah,
They're
I'm
nice.
gonna do multi-streaming at some point. No, actually, I'm big on multi-streaming. Elden Ring on Saturday, so
Nice.
Ooh.
I did multi-stream my first big subathon. That was pretty fun. We
Cool.
just did, we
How
just
do you
did
usually
that.
decide subathon stuff?
Well, this was the second time I'd done a subathon. The first one I did was uncapped. This one was capped because I'm going to do an uncapped one in June. And the one in June is going to be really weird because I'm doing a Father's Day special.
Oh, nice.
The plan is to play as many video games as you can where you fight and kill your dad.
Wow.
Star Wars. You gotta do
Star
Star Wars in there somewhere.
So there's a lot of games where you fight and kill your dad if you stop and think about it. So I thought that was very funny. Basically, I got the idea because I was playing Symphony of the Night on Father's Day one day and was streaming Symphony of the Night. And I was like, that's pretty funny. You're playing Symphony of the Night on Father's Day. And I was like, yeah, I guess you fight your dad in this game. And then I thought, wait a minute. You fight your dad in a lot of games.
You could do Pokemon Emerald too. That's a good one.
You fight your dad in Pokemon Emerald?
Yes, Norman.
Yeah, the 5th gym leader Norman is your dad.
Oh, it's got to go on the list.
Especially if you're doing a Nuzlocke. That would be really fun. Because then it's like Norman kills a few of your Pokemon.
I've never done a Nuzlocke in my life.
You could do Emerald Kaizo if you really want to torture yourself.
I'm doing Emerald Rogue. That one was very good. That was my best stream. I got all the way to literally the last turn on the final person. And I just...
Wow.
Yeah, they literally would have died if I didn't hit my attack, but they hit me and killed me.
Making a note to myself that in addition to the extremely long game list I already have, Pokemon Emerald, you fight and kill your dad. Excellent. You don't necessarily. You don't. Well, the rule is you don't actually have to murder your dad because in many of these games your dad is like immortal, like Hades, for example. Your dad comes back to life, but you do fight him, so it counts. So yeah. That counts.
I think I'm
That
live
definitely
again.
counts.
Every time
Oh,
you
welcome back.
are going to fight your dad, is it going to be like really edgy? Like, you can't. Like, fuck, I can't remember. You can't make my decisions for me. It's like maybe be like, you're not my dad, and then just
No,
like,
you shut the up, Dad. I have the no, you shut the f up, Dad, as a drop, and we're just gonna drop it every time a dad goes down.
perfect.
Amazing.
Yeah. The
Love
first
it.
couple dads are cheap, and then it's gonna be like more subs for more dads. So I don't know how many we'll get through, but however many survive could just be used for next year's Father's Day sub.
Solid.
I
It's a
kind of
very
want to do
random
this too.
idea.
This sounds really fun.
It's a very random idea. Nobody's ever done it. The tricky part is it's a lot of tech because it's a lot of different games.
Yeah.
But I own a lot of video games. I joke that I own every video game. I don't own every video game, but for example, I'll have to dig out Pokemon Emerald, but I'm sure that can fall off a truck somewhere.
Alright, maybe I'll do it, but I'll do it on Mother's Day. Don't worry, have fun.
Mother's Day. There's
Yeah.
not that many moms in games. Although of the moms that there are in games, a lot of them are evil, so you do have that going for you.
Is there one where I can play an evil mom and then just ruin my child's
I
childhood?
mean, yeah, I think so.
Cool, I might do that instead.
Yeah, I'd have to think about it. I'll go back to my grand list of games with moms in them.
At least I think I'm still alive.
Princess
I can't tell
Maker.
anymore.
Aren't you the dad in Princess Maker though? Technically.
There's Volcano Princess where you're the dad.
Oh, Volcano Princess. Okay.
I love Volcano Princess so much. It's so good.
It's amazing.
I got true
Volcano
ending on my
Princess, who
second
cares if I'm
playthrough and I
live or
wasn't
not?
expecting it.
Are you live?
I think I'm live.
All right. Welcome
Someone
back.
just said welcome back. I
Okay.
guess.
Yeah, you're good. It's working
Welcome
good.
back.
I'm back. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had a little technical
Yay.
difficulty there,
Okay,
but we're
okay.
back.
Nice.
I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome.
Meanwhile, in the world of Dungeons and the Dragons, you guys are standing at the foot of the ziggurat. By the way, it's getting close to sundown. No big deal, but just it's cooling off a little bit, which is kind of nice.
Oh, thank God. It feels so much nicer now.
Yeah, it's the sun's going down, so it's still very, very humid though. So it's not like a desert where it gets cold immediately, because it's definitely a jungle heat. So it's still very warm, but it's cooled off a little. You're especially standing like in the shadow of the ziggurat as the sun goes down. Yeah, so it's quite dramatic vignette as you see the sun set over the. Oops. Is there another picture in here? Oh, that's just the port again. I didn't know how many pictures I had on dinosaurs.
I threw on
yeah,
some
so-
sunglasses.
There's a nice picture of some jungle ruins that you can see. So the sun is setting over the jungle, the ruins, and everything, and you're standing there at the base of this pyramid type structure.
Aztec.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, you see this very simple symbol carved into the base. What do you think you're gonna do?
I kick it. Specifically the lower left circle.
You kick the lower left circle, and it slips slowly into the rock like an Indiana Jones style. Like it doesn't just like click in, but it kind of goes, and you hear like stone scraping. You hear like stone scraping against stone as you kick that lower left carving.
Nice aim.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm just wondering how a child hasn't gotten in here first.
And
As a child, I would literally hit on all those circles.
you would just go there and kick it, yeah.
Well, I'd at least touch all of them, yeah.
A similar rock move aside next to you at the base of the ziggurat, revealing some stairs leading downwards.
More
Guess that's all.
downstairs.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we have never had to go upstairs on this adventure. It's always downstairs, both ways.
It's always down. Yeah,
Both
it's always
ways.
Both ways, both times. Well, you had to climb up from the ladder before.
We don't talk about that.
Back up the stairs.
Good, good.
So, yeah. You still have the mattress.
Yeah. Alright, I'm going down, but with the mattress in front of me the whole time.
The mattress.
So you said-
Yeah, I'm gonna use it as a tower shield to block one attack
Hell
specifically.
The mattress. Cool. Where's my mattress?
I have to use this in my actual
Little
campaign just to see what the DM says.
Just the mattress?
Yeah, just to see what she says, and just so she's like, okay, cool.
I think it's good for one attack and one attack only. And then we need to get a new mattress. Maybe the bed frame too. Oh no. We gotta decide.
Use the bed frame as a shank. Just gotta smack it and just.
Okay.
Mhm. improvised
I'm gonna have
weapon.
I'm gonna have something funny happen because nobody anticipated you bringing a mattress down here. That's beautiful, and I love it. So, oh my god. Okay, so
It's gonna be hilarious.
Oh
you
god.
rolled a crit for the trap.
Oh.
So, but, y'all ever played Earthbound where you can carry around a teddy bear and the teddy bear like explodes and takes the first hit for you?
Oh my god.
So
No,
you've
but
got a mattress out in front of you, and you go down into this pit. And as you're going down in, a swinging blade fires out of the wall and smacks into your mattress, thoroughly bisecting it, chopping it completely in two, and spraying down feathers everywhere.
my kin. No.
But
My
but you
king.
are unharmed.
Well, I didn't know your kin were in here, so I'm sorry that I killed someone.
Am I gonna find this super orange machine? Not this time. No super armor this time.
Sorry I
put a
killed
joke
your
from
kin,
Earthbound-
Ice.
put a
I
joke from Earthbound in every D&D campaign. I can't help myself. I like Earthbound so much. I put a joke from Earthbound in every D&D campaign. Maybe this is my Earthbound joke, but it didn't make sense. But that's okay.
I gotta play Earthbound now. I've never tried it.
Earthbound is very good. It's a fun old retro RPG. I like it a lot. It's very silly.
I need to play it too.
Highly recommended.
Wait,
Highly
is
recommended.
Earthbound Mother or is it Mother
Yes. Mother 2.
3? Oh, Mother,
Mother
2.
2.
Okay.
Earthbound is Mother 2. Mother 3 is Mother 3. It's never been translated.
Oh, okay.
But again, it's possible for it to be found and located.
It's
There's a
not on
fan
Steam.
patch.
I just checked.
There's a fan patch. It's not on Steam, but it is on a Super Nintendo. If you have like an SNES Classic, it's on that, and I believe it's on the Switch eShop. Mother 2 is anyway.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
It's a fun classic game. Super fun. And I usually put at least one joke from it in every campaign that I run because I like it a lot.
Don't worry. I think I found a ROM. I mean, a legitimate.
Legitimate copy.
Yes, legitimate copy of this game.
I have like the original hardware, so whenever I get a ROM of a game, it's usually one that I already own. So it's kind of like, well, I'm using a ROM, but technically it's legal because it's not pirating because I bought it.
Yeah.
I think I've bought Earthbound like 3 times.
It's from good old Uncle Nintendo.
Yeah, Uncle Nintendo likes to resell you the same game over and over again.
They do.
Yep.
But it's
Better
a
than
fun
getting
game.
multiple copies of Skyrim.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
such a
true.
mood.
That's true. But yeah, your mattress implodes. But on the bright side, you did not get critted. That was a crit that I just rolled. You did not get critted by the swinging blade because your mattress soaked the swinging blade. Now you see that there's 2 more pendulum blades that could feasibly hit you in this room.
We're gonna need a few more mattresses.
Goblin will look and be like, "That was."
Need more mattresses, or you might be able to find a way to disarm the 2 traps.
I notice I have high stealth. Can I stealth my way over there and not trigger anything?
Sure, you could do that. Make a roll for yourself.
How do I do
Rogues?
that?
Who
Just
needs rogues?
That's an interesting way to think about stuff. I like.
Well, that makes sense. Either way, stealth is based on your dexterity, and it's a dexterity check to evade the traps. So if you want to just like use your dexterity to evade the traps and you're trained in stealth, we'll add that extra bonus to it.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it mean by +5 stealth with a proficiency bonus of +2? Is that a +7 then?
It's already added. The +5 is with your proficiency bonus, so it's already added in there. Yeah, not +7, just +5. But that's still pretty good.
So I rolled the dexterity.
Yep.
20.
Just roll d20.
D20 plus 5.
1d20 plus 5.
Ooh,
Nice.
An 8
You might have done a little better if you had a mattress. Sorry to
Yeah,
say.
you need that mattress. An 8 is not quite good enough. Okay.
Whoops.
You try to get past the next trap, but one of the blades hits you. It's probably not gonna
shaves
crit.
off.
Probably not gonna crit though.
Oh, if it crits again, that'd be.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. You take 1 point of damage. You're very lucky. So it just nicks you. Just nicks you on this side, but you get past it. But you do get sliced. You lose a couple tail feathers on that one.
Oh my gosh, my tail.
You're going to lose all of your plumage by the end of today. You're using it all up.
So because of the mattress, you're past the trap, and you snuck past the trap. So that just leaves Gavlin. How are you going to get past the trap?
Gavlin's gonna look. Does Gavlin see any good ways? Anything special? Could he? Anybody like turn it off? Maybe.
Yeah. Well, there might be a way. Yeah. You check and you see some carvings on the walls that look like they might have like indentations, the same way that previous carving outside did. They look a little bit more complicated though. It's not just one button to push. It's got a couple different square-shaped buttons. But you might be able to push them and figure out how to disarm the trap. That'd be an intelligence check.
We'll try it at the very least. Maybe I can not be. Yep, there we go.
And then you rolled a nat 20. Wait, again, the fighter with the lowest intelligence is a genius. He just looks at the walls. He just sees the matrix.
Yeah,
and
just
goes,
like,
oh, push this one and this one and that one.
it's
and
like
then all
the big
traps
think meme, and he just kind of just like.
And then all the blades stop swinging, and you're like, oh, it's that easy.
Gavlin has puzzle.
I'm glad you has puzzle.
Just walks across very casually.
Congrats.
Yeah,
As I continue to nurse my butt feathers.
You're missing a couple feathers, y'all.
Don't worry, there's some Dow feathers around. You can probably pick those up and use them.
Oh, true.
I wasn't actually considering a consideration of that.
Can I stock up on feathers?
Oh my god.
Let me get the other map out. Do I have it? I do.
Viplo.
That's Viplo's letter, and that's the map. Okay. You are coming into this area here, and you're coming through this door here. All these rooms are basically the same. They basically have like little trap areas, but you can choose which side you approach. Because as you see this door over here, you see this big open square area, which kind of corresponds to like the footprint of the ziggurat. Does that make sense? Like the bottom of it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear some movement in that area.
I call right.
Are the empty spaces like just not movable structures, or it's like a pit of doom?
It's a pit, sort of. So this, when you turn here, these are basically your squares. Like if we were using map squares, I'd have you like put your pieces where they are. But since we're not bothering with that, I'm just kind of showing you the space. Okay. These are downward ramps, and this is an actual pit down here at the bottom.
Okay.
And then I will go ahead and read the actual box text that happens here. As you see, an ancient chamber with crumbled, worn walls, and a narrow path that leads to the platform on the opposite end. And upon this platform, which is right here, is a small stone dais and a stand. And this pit is a slope downward. These are rusty gates against the east and west walls. And on the other side of this pit over here, you see a figure. And I wish that Viplo's description was in the same page as the description of this thing.
If only we had an elf.
Skull.
We can be like, what does your elven eye see?
Yeah, it is rather dark, but there's candles lit on the... Oh, Viplo is a halfling. That's what I was looking for. So it is a small person in robes.
Where are we on the map?
You are coming through this area here.
Oh.
So basically on the opposite side of the pit. This is the way down in, and then you evaded the trap in this room, so now you're over here. Well, you all found different ways of evading the trap, but... Evaded is evaded.
Sure.
Well, I think...
see him as we're coming in, though.
So let me see if he sees you, probably, but we'll see.
only one of us would see him because one of us can really see well.
Right, true. Oh no, no, he's totally engrossed in the thing that he's doing, which is working on his ritual. So, you can see in the darkness with the paladin has the dark vision, so you can see fairly clearly. You might want to either have a light source or candles or something, but you can see, like, oops, I just closed the PowerPoint. That's okay. You can see candles like across the way, so you can see light from that altar that he's using. So over here. But the rest of this is kind of shrouded in darkness unless you have like some kind of dark vision or something to see it. On the other hand, he doesn't spot you yet. So what do you choose to do?
Well, technically, he does have a light source there.
Yeah,
You
could
can
snipe him.
see him. I was
You
gonna
can see
say,
him,
can
yeah.
I snipe him? But at the same time, I was like, is he friendly though?
His name is
mean-
Fitlo.
Well, he does look like he's probably doing something evil. Probably.
That letter was a little.
I mean, the
sus.
letter.
It was
the
also
letter was
above.
odd.
Oh, sorry. It was above where he had chained zombies and tested on them.
Yeah.
You want to roll for initiative?
How about
Woo, murder hobo.
here? We can have someone go to the left, someone go to the right. I'm fine just going straight down into the pit.
Oh, you want to just go right in?
I could
And the
snipe
other
from
two are gonna
above.
sneak. That's true. You could fly up and try to shoot him.
How far is my range? Do I have a range limit?
You do.
Yeah, but it's definitely gonna be well within this shot area. I believe it's 60. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Is it a longbow or a short bow?
Yeah, it's a longbow.
I think longbow's 120 to 600.
Holy
Oh,
cow.
okay, so it's 120. Even if it was 60, you'd be fine.
Yeah, you were fine.
This is only 50 feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're well within range.
I could just hide up, because it's a slope down. He can't really see. I have the high ground.
I have the high ground.
Okay,
He has the
Obi-Wan.
high ground. He has
Oh,
the
he
high
has the
ground.
high
because
ground.
He's up here on this dais right here. Yeah. See this spot right here?
Okay,
He's behind that. He's behind that. So he actually does have the high ground. But these passages that go around to the side are also on the high ground.
I'm okay going with the. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I mean, it's your turn. really
If you
first.
fly, he's probably gonna see you.
Yeah, I
I'm in
think
the
it.
dark, though.
You are in the darkness.
You could try to stealth. You want to make a stealth roll?
No,
Stealth is pretty high.
I'll see. Yeah.
You can try. I mean, it is shadowy.
Yep.
I'd say you have an even chance, especially since he's distracted with his ritual.
I phoned my comrades and asked them what's a good plan.
I think it would be a good idea if you both stealth around the sides. I can use myself as a distraction, because I don't think he's going to immediately attack me if I just walk down. I don't know for sure. I'm willing to gamble. But I would just like walk down the pit and then you guys can surround him quite easily, I think. Because then you'd also be at the same height as he is.
Goblin agree. Just seems to start sneaking left.
Okay, I'll sneak.
I should mention one more thing before, because the box text was a little weird about this. But you see these 3 spots right here at the bottom?
Yes.
Yeah.
There are some townsfolk chained up against the wall here.
Oh yeah.
So that would be an important thing to note. They are poor townsfolk from above. Remember how they said some people were disappearing?
Yep.
It seems like there's some people chained to the wall right here.
Do we want to save victims?
I mean, ideally.
Ideally, but that's why I think a stealthy approach with using me as a distraction would be fine. If they just interpret it as being like, oh, 1 threat, then they might take it easier than if there were 3.
Fair enough.
So is everybody trying stealth?
I'm going to be blatant and make myself apparent and just walk down into the pit.
Walking down into the pit. Okay, so you start walking down into the pit. The other 2 are going to go around the back. I mean, technically you don't know for sure that this connects up, but you can kind of see that this is a passageway that it probably leads, so You guys split up and go both ways.
I think that'd be
Like,
best. Maybe like a
flanking,
little
yeah.
pincer attack.
I think
Okay,
that would be
so you're
good too.
flanking, and you walk down right into the middle. As soon
Yes.
as you get like to the actual edge of the pit, he spots you.
Hello, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior Helm?
What a great line. He doesn't laugh, but I laughed because it was funny. Hell,
Yes.
you say?
Hell.
You are an interloper. Are you here to aid in my ritual? Have you come for the serpent?
A possible aid, depending on what matters are at hand. I
Make
follow the
a,
ultimate guardian, so
a
could be useful.
persuasion roll. You have pretty good persuasion. You got a plus
I do.
5.
I have a plus 5. 21.
Ooh, very nice
Ooh.
roll. Oh, okay. Oh, you've distracted him. You do seem. You have the advantage of seeming like kind of an evil person, maybe, since you're, like an anti-paladin, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's actually exactly what I was going for.
So, I thought perhaps. Where did you come from? Are you here to aid in the ritual? Please come up to my side then and prove your worth.
Of course. What would you have me do?
Meanwhile, the other two, where you guys are headed around the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you stealthily move around the back of the side here. And are you going to wait and see what happens down here, or are you going to attack and strike?
I'm gonna wait. I wanna see what he's.
What he's cooking up? What he's cooking up?
Yeah. Let him cook.
Yeah.
Let him
I
cook.
feel like waiting might be the safer option right now. Just to make him just to wait while he's more distracted.
Goblin will gesture to Ice and like to the bow, kind of like make the motion to just get ready.
And let me see if he notices anything. Oh no, he doesn't suspect a thing. You guys are in the clear. Very, very, very cool. Very well. It's time I convert these foolish townsfolk into more of my aides.
I agree.
Oh.
However, wouldn't there be a better method that we could use? You see, I've encountered previous servants in the past, and they haven't been quite as, let's say, combat ready. There are always ways to make people stronger, but I don't believe that your ritual could be the way. I do have another one in mind, though.
I'm intrigued. What do you know of the what do you know of the ways of I forgot the bad guy's name already, damn it. As if
People.
People.
Viplo is his captain.
Viplo.
As if
Oh.
his
I know of the Viplo.
Oh god.
Well, as I announced, I am a paladin of Helm. However, my um desires may lie elsewhere. So, helping in various different locales has given me somewhat proficiency in terms of finding out ways to make oneself stronger, more powerful. Um, and I do have it in a journal in my pack, though that would require some time to encounter. I keep it quite hidden, you see.
I think my ritual will suffice. If you truly wish to aid me, you should go find Alistair Bull in the town. He has something I need.
May I inquire as to what it is?
It is a trinket, a piece of a larger object. Uh, I would describe it to you, but obviously, if I told you too much, you might decide to keep it for yourself.
How am I supposed to grab it then? What if it weren't on his person? Do I just drag a body back here for no reason?
It might be within his home.
But I would still not know what I'm looking for.
It is a piece of stone, a half moon shaped stone, exactly like this one. And he pulls out from his robe a an amulet that looks like a crescent moon.
Ooh, a crescent.
Mhm.
So is it supposed to be that same shape, or is it supposed to be the other half of it?
It's the other half. They slip together.
The other half.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need me to go grab that? That's
Rest of the party, are you guys listen? Are you guys listening in?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You gonna do anything? You're gonna wait.
Let him cook. He's
Yeah.
free
I
information.
want to.
Let him cook. Let him cook. Okay.
Yeah.
truly
Of
like
course.
what power could this have over my method? You need me to run an errand, whether I could do this now?
Well, what do you exactly plan to do? If you don't have this item of power, we can't complete our goals.
Why need an item of power when I'm the power right here?
Prove it then.
I will. Here, let me come up there. And I need to take out my journal as well.
Okay. So are you gonna come up? It's kind of like you're kind of in the pit, and then there's not like an easy way up, so you may have to climb.
Sure, I'll climb up there.
All right. Make an athletics roll.
Nice.
Oh, not
Solid.
so
I never said my power was in terms of my strength.
Yeah, well, no, not such a hot roll. So you realize that there's not like a ladder up from here, and that's probably intentional, right? Because this seems to be a pit of sorts. And as you look over here, you notice that there's more of those zombies behind this gate, and they've got those big long claws. They're clawing, looking like they're ready to get out. And the people chained here, they look pretty beat up, and pretty frightened. One of them is an older woman, and she looks at you, and she's very very anxious. You're a very intimidating figure, and maybe you're here to kill, or could you? Obviously, you're obviously helping this guy who captured them. So, they don't seem they seem pretty wary of you. But it doesn't seem like you can make it up easily to this. He'll walk over to the edge. You can hand me this journal.
When he walks up to the edge,
Fine.
I'll kind of gesture to Ice, kind of like got him on the edge.
So,
Move on, like move up, kind of thing. Gesture.
Yeah, kind of like a little bit. Want to be right behind him. I'm gonna backstab him, pretty much.
Mm.
are you going to backstab him, or do you want me to continue, guys?
We pumped him pretty good.
Did you backstab him?
Yep, go for it.
All right, roll initiative, and I'll roll mine. Oh, I rolled a 2. I'm really slow, so you got it. As long as you beat a 2.
Do I need to roll initiative as well, or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
just to see where you are. Initiative
I need
isn't
to?
necessarily. Yep, everybody
Yes.
roll. Initiative is to see who goes in what order. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to attack. So whenever there's like an action sequence like this, I like to have initiative because it means like we know exactly when you're going. So
Yeah.
it looks like I'm at the bottom of the round. First person to go is going to be Ice, which is good because that's what we want, right? We want you to go ahead and do your backstab. Followed by whatever Mercury decides to do. And I'm always, even though you keep saying your name, I'm always blanking. Gavlin. There we go. Gavlin is going to be after. And then finally, Vliplo is going last, and whatever he ends up doing. So, Ice, go ahead and make your ranger roll. What are you doing? Sword or arrow? Or pushing?
Push.
I want to try sniping him. I'm gonna snipe his
So he's over like
snipe
here.
apart. Oh.
He's over like here. Do you want to
Yeah.
just shoot like you have to get a clear shot, so you'll have to come around the corner either way. Which side would you say you're on?
I think I was on the right because
Okay,
Gavin was on the left.
You're on this
Yeah.
side. This is
Yeah.
clear. There's no wall in the way, so you'd have to come around the corner and just pop him.
Does he look? Is he wearing armor, or he just have a
No,
cloak?
he is wearing a cloak.
I think I'll go for a longbow still.
Okay.
I'll aim at his heart.
All right. Take that roll.
That's
Shot
it.
through the heart, and you're
Oh,
too
gosh.
late. You hit
Oh my god!
a bad name.
You
My
rolled a
God,
crit.
Chilluck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll another d20. Let's see if you get crit.
Crit, crit.
So that
It's plus 3 though, isn't it? Or
it's plus
5.
5. Oh, is it plus 5?
Right, 'cause
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
3 plus
wait.
he
proficiency.
is
Oh,
not
yeah,
wearing
my
armor, and
longbow.
he is flat-footed. So yeah, go ahead and roll double damage.
How do I double damage?
Well, your longbow does
1d8.
1d8. So roll
Okay.
2d8.
Do I go 2d plus 3?
Yes.
Roll 2.
Oh, I learned the minimum range for a longbow. It's 150. It was slightly higher than I
150.
thought.
Pretty high. Yes, I'm the Shadow Realm. Oh, very, very, very good. You shoot this guy right in the back, and it pierces through. The good news is he does not have any armor, so it's actually extremely easy to hit him. That is not enough to
Straight
kill him.
through. Oh,
But
what?
it
It went
does-
straight through.
It does hit. I mean, he's almost. That was a really, really good hit, and he's a halfling. So I mean, he's like gotten shot. And he actually the arrow like kind of protrudes partially from his chest. And then next up is Ricker. You're down below.
Yeah.
And you see him like lean forward as an arrow pierces through his chest, and he knew there was going to be betrayal. He does have a magic amulet of some sort. Let's see if he holds on to it. No. So he drops the magic amulet right in front of you. Or whatever it is. I mean, it looks like it's probably magic. And hits the ground, the moon-shaped piece of stone.
All right. How quickly can I pick that up?
As quickly as he can't reach it because he's literally 10 feet above you.
Well, the problem is I'm thinking about pulling him down here and grappling, but I don't know,
Well,
like if...
I can just come up from behind him. I'm literally up there too.
Oh, yeah. I will still give, like, this fake notebook that I was gonna give, and then I'll pick up the amulet. A fair trade.
Okay, you give him the notebook.
Yeah.
You reach it up to him. Okay, and then
Give
you
him
reach
the
over and grab the
sarcasm.
amulet. Now you have to make a wisdom roll.
Ooh. Saving throw or just a roll?
Saving throw, yep.
Yay. +3. 13.
Wait, what's the saving throw?
Oh, very nice. Okay, so you do not take psychic damage from picking up the amulet. You made it by 1. But when you pick up the amulet, you do see a vision of 2 yellow eyes with slit pupils like a snake appear in front of your face for just a brief moment before it vanishes and you're holding the amulet in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
The
Sounds
evil
good.
psychic amulet is Twitter. No, it's a psychic snake amulet. It's not a psychic.
It's specifically X now because it's evil.
So,
Psychic
like,
friend
was
Fred Bear.
the Snake Eyes and just Elon Musk? It's just Snake Man, the Snake Man theory.
Evil snake man. No, you see
I love that.
for a second snake eyes in front of your. Then you go, oh, and then you don't actually take psychic damage because you were strong enough of will to avoid taking psychic damage.
It's Voldemort.
Which,
Just Voldemort.
now Gafflin's turn. The evil wizard is still standing there.
Goblin will just go for the two-handed swing. With the
You're
long
walking up to hack at him.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and take that roll.
Let's see, +5, I believe. 1d20 +5. Oh boy, it's a 9.
Nice!
Oh, you miraculously miss somehow.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Perhaps he was just leaning forward a little too far from the arrow. Well, that doesn't mean he gets a turn, which is exciting.
Don't worry, he got a notebook. It's filled with ultra powerful secrets.
Get a notebook. Oh, wonderful.
What was in the
Absolutely.
notebook again? I forgot.
Nothing, I don't think.
Nothing really.
Decoy notebook.
It was a decoy note. Pretty much. Just a notebook filled with just random shit.
Got it.
Have it be like the fucking notebook of Helm or something. Here's a Bible.
Okay. He is going to. There's opportunity for him to try and unleash the zombies, but I think instead he is going to fight for his life because, such as it is. So he is going to. Let's see. The person closest to him
Would probably be Gavlin.
would be.
Oh, it's absolutely Goblin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Me below him?
To attack Yeah, because you're below him, so he'd have to jump down into the pit, and that's not for sure what I would do. So I'm gonna use Burning Hands, which I'm gonna look up the rules for real quick.
Ooh, 15-foot cone.
Yep, 15-foot cone. So he's gonna turn around, and you're gonna make a Dex saving throw to not get caught on fire.
Dex saving throw. What do I even
Yep.
have? I think I have a +1. Yeah, just +1.
Yeah, that's what I was checking.
Oh yeah, because you're strength con, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How many Dex con?
20 +1. 19. We're good.
Ooh, very, very nice. So you do take half damage. It's still damage. So it's half of whatever this is. So that is 8 points of damage.
That puts me on my ass. That puts me on my ass.
Oh, you fall over? Okay.
Yeah.
He's down. He's on fire and he's down.
Stop, drop, and roll. I've gotten dropped.
You see the halfling. He's got an arrow protruding out of his chest. He turns around and whoosh! A big conflagration of flames comes out of his hand, strikes Scavlin. He is on fire and he falls down to the ground. That's his action. But now he turns and he looks to see where the source of the arrow came from. So you have an opportunity to do the heroic thing.
What's the
There are no heroes in this story.
My brain, when you said he's on fire and then like save him, I was like, fan of fire. I was like, wait, no, that's bad.
We got like 3 turns until he actually dies. We're fine.
Yeah, he won't actually die. Yeah. Oh, so death rules. Good thing to know. It does take 3 rounds for someone to die once they fall to 0 hit points. So as long as you quote unquote stabilize before 3 rounds are up, your friend might be unconscious. He may have to go back to the inn, but he'll live. And since you did a good deal of damage to this guy the first time you hit him, he probably only has 1 good hit left in him. But it's kind of up to you to make the call. Or you could run over and try to put out the fire if you want to do that instead.
I feel like the best choice would be to get rid of the hazard first. Like
Murder, perfect.
Yeah,
and
probably.
then save someone, yeah.
Because you don't know how many times he can cast that spell.
Yeah.
It was pretty dramatic. I mean, your friend just like went caught on fire immediately and went down, but you're out of range because you shot him with the arrow.
Yeah.
So
I kind of want to feel like maybe I should do another arrow just because I don't know his range. Like, I don't want to put myself in danger by being near him.
Yeah, and the fact that it's a 15-foot cone, I mean, he sprayed it like in this direction because Gavin approached from this side, and you're off on this corner, so you're kind of like just out of range. But in theory, if he swept to the side, he could have hit you.
What was the range again?
15 feet.
No,
yeah,
I mean,
for his attack, 15 feet. So he's
15
within
feet.
Yeah, he's within the ability to hit you if he could do it again.
I could technically fly 50 feet up, because that's the range of my flying, right?
There's also a roof.
This is underground, but I mean, you could go up maybe about 20 feet. But wait, I'm trying to think of how high is the ceiling in this room. Let me see.
How tall is a ziggurat?
Yeah, well, it's a ziggurat, so I mean, you could go up over the pit. I figured it's gonna be pretty high, and you could theoretically just fly out of range of his spell if you wanted to.
Can I fly out of range and shoot, or is that 2 turns?
You can both move and attack on your turn, so you can do both of those things. Yes.
170 feet square.
Every turn consists of both a action, a move, and a potential bonus action. And you can choose what order moving and taking an action happen in. So you can attack and then move, or move and then attack. In this case, I think you're moving and then attacking, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to fly up and over the pit and then shoot at him so you're out of range of his fire?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, so you fly, whoosh, big wings flap over here, kind of getting out over the pit so that you're in the high ceiling area. You're not going to get shot by fire. And I'll just
laughing is not very
No, it's actually super cool and dramatic. I just want to see what your flight speed is. Oh yeah, 50 feet.
Yeah, at
So,
this
yeah,
point,
you got plenty of...
I'm a bit cooked. I mean, laughing
He's
hysterically is not
literally cooked.
like laughing hysterically is not out of like unreasonable.
Fair,
Go
fair.
ahead and make that attack roll.
Oh, that's a 20.
Yep.
Shoot me that.
Ooh, you
Oh, wait, that's a
missed.
+3.
That
Yeah, I
doesn't.
still
That's a
missed.
miss.
Mm,
I
Ah,
whiffed with
darn.
a 9.
oh my
So-
gosh! Not
At
it's,
least
all of a
I'm
sudden,
still safe.
it's you fly up, you shoot the arrow. Somehow this one misses. It just slides like right over his shoulder. Oh, he's really pissed. But it's now Mercury. Your turn.
How high up is he?
10 feet above you.
Okay, can I run back like 10 feet and then do a running high jump to try and get up there?
Try to do a dramatic jump.
Yeah.
What's your jump height? It's an athletics roll.
Yeah, so I know. Let me see. Sure, we'll just do the athletics roll. But I know I can make it
Yep.
quite high with just my strength alone.
Yeah, yeah, you can.
16.
It's a pretty good. Okay, so 16 is really pretty good. I don't have all my athletics sheets in front of me. I mean, in real world, that's like a crazy amount of jumping. But D&D, it's kind of a heroic like story, you know?
Yeah,
So that's what.
3 plus strength modifier,
Okay.
which would be 6. I could probably climb up.
Yeah, but that's an athletics roll, right?
Yeah.
So we could think as a climbing roll. You didn't make the climb before. You're able to climb up next to him. That is going to be your action though, just because it's like a difficult thing to do.
Okay. Can I Baldur's Gate and shove as a bonus action or no?
You want to shove him down into the pit?
Yeah.
Sure, do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's another
Athletics.
roll. Yep.
16 again.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
His athletics is not going to be anywhere near that high because he's got a +0 dex. Oh, hello, Cerise. I'm getting a raid. Welcome.
nice.
Welcome.
Hi, Raiders.
Coming in. Hi,
People,
Raiders.
We're being nerds.
You just
Welcome.
they just pushed the halfling wizard into the zombie pit.
Fall damage.
Fall damage.
Yay, D6.
Oh shit.
Let's go.
Probably just died right there.
Oh, I mean, that is gonna knock him unconscious. Yeah. It's not he's gonna fall unconscious if he falls into the pit. So you push him over to the pit, and crack, and now you're on top of where his ritual area was, and he falls down to the pit. Woo! That was a close one. Your buddy is on fire next to you. In fact, several things are. Parts of the ground is on fire. That doesn't seem so good. Make a death save, actually.
It's a shame I can't do anything else on my turn.
No, you're done. That's definitely your
I know
turn.
it. I'm done. Yeah, thank you. But I have a way to heal him, so it's just like, yeah, I can't heal him
Yeah,
yet.
that's true.
That's fair. That is
Make a death save. Make the death save just for funsies, because you'll be okay after she
just
kills
for
you.
funsies.
Yeah, we'll see if you make it or not.
It's just
It's a straight D20.
It's been so long since I've actually taken one of these. 14.
I know. You're fine. You made a death save. You're not
Yeah.
dying yet. That's the end of your turn, though.
Woo!
And it seems like let me make a death save. Also made the death save. So he's unconscious.
14.
He's not on fire, but he is bleeding because you did shoot him really good with an arrow. So yeah, he's not looking so hot, but he's definitely on the ground.
Maybe a few broken ribs.
Knocked out. Maybe a few broken ribs, yeah. But nothing else is attacking you guys, so we don't necessarily have to be in initiative anymore. I think you're gonna do your last lay on hands.
I don't have lay on hands anymore, but I do have healing hands, which literally gives 1 hit point.
Oh well, 1 hit point is enough.
Wake up!
Don't need
Slap.
I just had
slaps
somebody in
him
my
across
chat
the
say
face.
1d4 of broken rib damage on
I've taken 1d4 of pocket sand before, so
1d4 pocket sand.
I've taken 1d4 of pocket sand when I was a sorcerer, by the way, and it rolled backs. So it was awful,
Amazing.
and I was blinded for a turn.
Good news, you're not dead, Gavlin, and you're singed, but awake.
Kind of looks up, kind of like periscopes around.
You might want to beat out the rest of the fire on you before that becomes a problem.
Kind of looks down and just kind of starts rapidly putting himself out.
There you go.
And it looks like you were able to stop him from making more zombies.
Yep.
Incredible.
Yay.
I will need to shove my greatsword through the bars of the cells to kill them all, but
Stab the ones that are behind the other two that are behind the gates.
yeah.
All right. You gotta jump down.
I'm not jumping down. I'm just like sliding down.
Oh, okay, sliding back down.
Gotta make sure I don't take fall damage or break my ribs.
Let's see if any of them get a lucky shot on you.
All of them are.
I didn't get. I was
broken
just
rib
thinking
damage.
if I got a crit, maybe I'd hit you, but you're okay.
Hmm.
They're bad. They're mad. They're hissing. They're scratching. You lop their hands off first, and then you drive into there while they're unable to fight back, really, because they're behind bars. And then you can set the townsfolk free, unless you don't want to.
Just leave. No.
Yeah.
Just leave
Okay, bye
them.
guys. Have fun. They're still chained
Okay,
up.
bye.
See,
What about us?
we took out the bad guy. That's it. You gotta get yourself out of this situation.
You can deal with the rest.
He's still kind of there on the ground bleeding, but you know.
Oh
he's
yeah,
still
let's
gonna count.
coup de grace. Or actually,
Oh,
should we
you-
like put him in prison or should we kill him?
Should we take him with us?
We can throw him in prison if we want. He's probably not waking up for at least an hour.
Can we search his body just in case he has extra stuff that might be a trap?
He does not have anything else on his person.
Does he have an arcane focus?
You have it.
Oh. How do you cast a spell without an arcane focus?
Well,
Magic.
it's
Magic bullshit.
It's magic. Oh,
It's
I lied. He also has a vial of alchemist's fire and 20 GP.
I'm gonna take the alchemist fire.
What's an alch? Oh, just kind of like an item that you can.
It is
It's a firebomb from Dark
grenade.
Souls.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Like a grenade, like a fire. Yeah, a fire bomb.
What's
Yeah,
that
you can throw it.
GP thing then?
Gold
Gold.
Oh,
Money.
gold
I
coins.
take money. Round of
Take
blood.
money.
All the money?
Oh, the money.
And to, the item that you had probably was not his singular arcane focus, obviously. But he uses basic small components and such. But you have the piece. You recall he mentioned it was a piece of a larger object, and that there's somebody who has the other part. But that would probably be an adventure for
A different
to
day.
find out later. Yeah.
I like how we're just robbing everything. We go to a house, we
Oh,
rob
that's how
everything in
Dungeons
there.
and Dragons works.
I like how he says nonchalantly and it's like, yeah, that's how it works. Just rob it. Actually, in my first session, sorry, in my first session of my current D&D campaign, we're supposed to go into this haunted house and then just leave the island that we were on right after we dealt with it. No, we kept the house. So we literally we went completely a different direction than the DM thought.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's just like, nah, this is our house now. And that's literally what we called it. It's our house now. And then we had to redo the deed many, many times because, and also the deeds that get done are then sent to like past owners for as long as the house has been around. So those who earned it like 5 centuries ago, they're getting like the house changed hands again. And we had to do that like 10 times that we changed our house to make sure it was all right.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I
Well,
tangented.
you all can. No, I love D&D stories. I could talk about D&D stories all day. It's such a fun game. You know, I always enjoy playing and meeting new folks and running adventures with them.
Mhm.
At this point, you are cleaning up, and you can take him back to the city guard if you would rather than murder him. It's up to you.
I'm all for murdering him, but I want to make sure you guys are fine with that.
I'm fine.
Okay, I'm gonna throw him in a trap. I think that'll be fun.
Go,
Take
you're
out
gonna
my
throw him,
money.
throw him in front of one of the swinging blade traps.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gavilan like walks to the other side to like
Wow.
reactivate it.
hit the buttons and have him get
Wait,
like.
wait,
it's like,
let us cross first. Let's cross first.
Oh my god.
Well, actually, you probably gotta free the townsfolk, but this is a good.
Townsfolk, like, get them across, get them out. Do the
Free
whole thing.
Free the townsfolk. One of them says, thank you. There will be a reward for you. We'll reward you for all this hard work. You saved us. You didn't have to do that. We would have been turned into zombies just like those others. And you don't kill them, so yeah.
We do not kill the townspeople.
No, but you do kill Diplo. R.I.P. to the halfling, the halfling villain.
He gets fucking shredded by some swinging blades.
By his own traps, which is very appropriate.
His own lair.
It's kind of gruesome, actually. Too.
It's actually pretty good, but it's kind of rad, so that's all good too. And you guys can leave the ziggurat with your amulet reward and the townsfolk coming with you. They're not particularly wealthy, these folks, but they once again mention that they know who it was who was looking for the other half of that amulet, and the name was given was Alistair.
Hmm.
And that perhaps if you contact him in the town, he might be able to reward you greater.
All right. Should we check that out, or should we save it for another day?
We could definitely check out Alistair, but the thing is, if he's also wanting the other half of the thing, is he also a cult member?
Maybe not a cult member, but I also don't feel the most inclined to give it to him, especially if it makes a powerful artifact.
Yeah, you don't know for sure.
Oh shit! I realized.
Name.
Sorry, go ahead.
What did you say? You realized?
I was like, shit! I realized I left my journal. Gotta go back.
Oh, you left your paper journal.
I know. I need my journal.
Kind of bloody at this point. The guy got chopped up, but you can still. Yeah, you can take it.
It's my journal. Actually, it being more blood-soaked is probably closer to how Mercury has it. So.
So the man who talked to you before, it turns out that he is a low-level cleric. One of the townsfolk that you rescued. And now that he's not injured anymore, he'll help patch up your wounds, at least, and heal you guys back up to full.
Yay!
Nice.
Free healing!
Including the one that was set on fire, although you're still going to be feeling that in the morning, probably.
It's fine.
And then if this adventure were to continue, then you'd have to discover what to do with the other half of the magic amulet that you found. Then because this adventure is broken up into 5 chapters, but all these parts can be done in any order. So that's kind of the end of that particular chapter. And then you would return to the inn to figure out what you would do next if you were to continue. So that's Dungeons and Dragons. That's how you play.
We specifically finished chapter 4. Let's go.
Yeah, chapter 4. This module has 5 chapters. So that's chapter 4, which is interesting. But you can play them in any order. So
wait, didn't we do chapter 3?
No, we didn't do chapter 3.
Go into the jungle.
We specifically avoided the jungle because we had to pay for a guide.
Yeah. If you find a guide and go out of the jungle, there's a whole other mission that you can encounter at the ravine. So that's a whole other thing. And there's more combat. But I like this one because the individual encounters are relatively quick, meaning that it doesn't get too bogged down. And that it was unlucky because this is true. That wizard only had 10 hit points and you did 9 points of damage. So the fact that he got a couple extra rounds in was just because it was a 1 hit point wonder.
Yeah, then I missed something fierce.
We all missed a couple times.
Oh, so he literally would have died no matter the fall damage.
Yeah, the fall damage would any fall damage would have knocked him out. Yeah, any fall damage would have knocked him out. Although I'm kind of glad he had 1 hit point left. Although it would have still been pretty dramatic if you had killed him instantly. That would have been still pretty dramatic. But I'm glad he got to do something.
I know you got to knock down a player. How does it feel?
I know. But you got back up, and everybody got to do something heroic. So I also liked the idea of trying to distract him. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
In the
Worked really
actual
well.
module, they're like, he immediately sicks the zombies on you. But I thought, hey, that seems like a cool plan. I mean, you look kind of evil. What if you were on his side and wanted to worship the Dark Serpent? But
I am specifically one, like, the way I made this character is just like, yeah, I'm gonna be a little evil, a little good. I'm in the middle, as long as I follow my own morality.
man, that was kind of fun. I almost want to do this again.
I'd totally be up for it if you did.
I'm down for that.
Well, y'all hang out. But I hope you got a good. I'm gonna be wrapping up, I think, but I hope you had a good first D&D session of your.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, it was
great.
actually lots of fun.
There's
I don't
lots
know,
to
like,
learn.
yeah, definitely. Like being put on the spot, just kind of be like, I have no idea what I'm doing. But
Yeah, bit of a
yeah,
And I realize that can be a little intimidating, especially as a first timer, being like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And you're like, I don't know. The world's my oyster. I'm not used to having this much choice. I can do
Mhm.
Yeah,
literally
exactly.
anything."
The paradox of
And
choice, yeah.
That's the part where D&D is like scary and fun at the same time, because you realize like there's so many options available to you, but you
Mhm.
also have the ability to like kind of go by the rules a little bit and pick what the most optimal strategy is. So there's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I would argue that's also where good character design comes in, though, because if you have
Mhm.
a good defined character, you can kind of think more, well, what would my character do, right?
Right.
yeah, yeah.
And
And I
you
feel
can
like
kind of use
that
that as
comes
like a
with
guideline.
practice. It comes with
Oh, yeah.
play. Like I never any RP that I've ever done, and I've role played, as I've mentioned, I've role played a lot. Any RP that I've ever done, my character always develops more the longer I play, and I find out more about them as I play, and I learn like what their quirks and stuff are. So, yeah, I was like a little bit rusty because I hadn't played D&D in a while. But that's why I'm kind of like, wait, where's the module? Is this? But overall, like, super fun, folks.
Mhm.
I like that I
Um,
actually failed a couple times.
Failure is a way to growth. So,
That's a
Yeah.
huge thing is taking the failures and taking them in stride, because even sometimes are funny or like make a lot of sense with the character, and they become
Yeah.
kind of a really cool core aspect of a character. It's actually really
Yeah.
really fun to try to work those in.
as I mentioned, like, earlier or before the stream, like, I literally had the heist where I was trying to steal something for 2.5 hours, and it basically ended up exactly where it started after those 2.5 hours. That was just a series of a bunch of successes and failures. We were doing great at stealthing around, but we kept failing on getting the item, and that just made it
Mhm.
so fun. The whole party got involved. They had to like vouch for us. It was just insane.
Great time.
I liked the mattress trick. That turned out to
The
be so
mattress was
ironic that you.
so
It was so
good.
hilarious.
And then I critted with the trap. That was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
jeez.
random bullshit
So,
sometimes.
so
Great.
the other
I think
stuff.
my random
other
20s
stuff
were really
that's in
funny
the-
because it's like randomly the really dumb, not perceptive fighter is like, yeah, hey, it's just here, it's this.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, and the fighter kept like for some reason having the best possible like rolls.
Intelligence rolls, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just completely pulling it out of his ass.
yeah.
I
I'm
think
also
on the
kind of
stream.
like I'm almost like a featherless pigeon at this point because I keep like plucking my feathers.
You keep getting stuck in traps and stuff. I was gonna cycle through. Now I've got too many windows open. No, that's not what I want.
I did include a few other pictures in the collaboration chat for other
that I have
or-
for other stuff happening. So there's also like a dinosaur race you can participate in, or you can
Right.
do the Merchant's Sword. Yeah, there's a bunch of other things you could do. You guys went into to do the ziggurat first, so. Well, I'm wiped.
Oh.
I'm not. I still got
That was
energy.
really fun.
You have a
Yeah.
lot of energy still.
I am a suppressed ball of chaos, is how I described myself in
Suppressed
private.
chaos.
Yes,
In
suppressed.
theory, if you were to continue, would you try to figure out the secret of the amulet on your own, or would you try to find the guy who supposedly has the other piece?
If we were to continue the session, I think I would go to Alistair. And
Figure
try.
out what his deal is.
Yeah, but I'm not set on giving him the amulet. I'm actually
That
pretty
makes sense.
hesitant on it.
That makes sense. Because maybe, like, first of all, you think it might have an evil power of some kind. Because it tried to, like, psychically do a thing to you, but you successfully resisted it.
And it was originally meant to use for nefarious purposes. So it's just like,
Right.
why would I
so
give this to
it's
someone
a
else?
dark ritual. Yeah, that's true. Maybe you'd try to figure out a little bit more about it before you decided if it was worth selling to somebody or something.
Exactly.
That's what's fun about Baldur's Gate 3 is they did a good job of capturing those moments of like, oh, how do I handle this situation? You know, so it's a
I
fun
should
game.
probably
if you
play
haven't played
Baldur's Game or Baldur's Gate.
It was really
the
good.
rules of D&D, except they did change a few things, which is one of the reasons I got like, oh wait, how's a short rest work really? Because they do it differently in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, for me, I'm literally like, I said, can I shove as a bonus action as in like Baldur's Gate?
That's Baldur's Gate thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like all the rules changes they made were pretty good. D&D's 5th edition is definitely nearing the end of its life cycle, and there'll probably be a new edition pretty soon. They've been talking about it for a while now, doing a 6th ed, which they're going to say they're going to call it D&D, and it's not going to be called 6th edition, but everyone's going to call it 6th edition.
To be honest, I'm probably just going to stick with 5e for a few more years at the very least.
I like to just stick. 5e is pretty decent.
It is.
It is a good balance between like classic D&D and I personally really liked 4th edition. I know a lot of people didn't, but 4th edition is very board gamey compared to 5. It's you really, really, really have to use a map to really run 4, and with 5 you can do it the way I did it, which is kind of free form a little bit. But with 4th you really, really need a map because like things are in individual squares about how much you could hit people, and it's like very
very specific.
It is very specific. A lot of numbers.
But I like it. It's just different. And then I think I would say I like 2nd edition. I really don't like 3.5. I know that's probably
You don't like 3.5? That's interesting. That's a hot take.
3.5. No. It is my hottest D&D take. Yeah, I don't like it. The reason I don't like it is because they actually just added too many options for character building to the point where you basically have to build your character a very specific way to be effective. And I don't think that's fun. I prefer to build my character and play and see where the story takes me. But I feel like you have to basically plan your character in advance in 3.5 or else you're going to be useless. So I played more 3. Well, I've played a lot of 5 now. I probably played 5th more than any other edition, but I've played 3.5 like the second most. Played a lot of 3.5. And I just didn't like it at the end of the day. I thought it was boring because you'd build a character to be super effective and they would only be good at doing 2 things. Because you had to build them so specifically. But that's just me. I played a lot of it. I played a lot of D&D, I guess I could say. So I get my rules tangled in my head sometimes.
The only thing I know about D&D 2 2nd edition from someone else on the Twitter thread I made was that you can actually die in 2.
Oh, you can die in any D&D.
Oh.
You can die. Your characters can die pretty easily.
I almost died. I was.
Well,
True.
you were making death saves. I would say with 4th edition on, they made it harder to die, especially in early levels. With basically 1st, 2nd, and I would even say even 3rd. And it's very easy to get killed in the early levels because there's no such thing as death saves. So you would just like get knocked unconscious, and then you could easily be coup de grace or died or you're killed.
Oh.
What's special about 2nd edition is 2nd edition had the most novel writers and world builders working on it. So the stories it tells are very rich. Because of how many really good authors wrote stories for 2nd edition. And in many ways, any edition that comes after 2nd, this is another thing to know about D&D, is that the default setting for D&D 5 is Forgotten Realms, which is the setting that Baldur's Gate is set in, for example. But there's other D&D settings. So, like, Dragonlance is a D&D setting, Eberron is a D&D setting. I think Eberron might be a 3rd edition one, but...
Eberron's also 5e.
Eberron's... there is a 5e Eberron.
Because there's Warframe.
Right.
Not Warframes, fuck.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of when they started doing Eberron.
Warforge. It's Warforge. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah, those are like the robots.
Yeah.
I mean, Warframe is kind of robots-ish.
I do like Warframe a lot.
Piloted by psychics.
Oh, I really like the story of Warframe. I like Warframe a bit too much.
I've got thousands of hours in it, like literally.
Same. The problem is my computer couldn't handle it if I wanted to stream it, so I'm just like, shit.
Oh, interesting.
I already have trouble with OBS already, so it's best not to risk it.
comment in the chat. I know a lot about 3.5, so it's with knowledge that I know I hate it. Exactly. Me too. That's exactly how I feel. I played so much 3.5. I play tested stuff for 3.5. I don't like 3.5. After mid, it was like I played it for like 10 years before I was like, I don't even like this. What am I doing?
I don't even
Maybe
like playing
Maybe
this.
not literally 10 years, but I played it for like as long as it was around because it was the D&D that there was to play. And I was like, man, I'd rather play any game other than D&D at this rate.
And that's how you
I love
became
it.
satanic.
Yeah, well, that's how I almost got kicked out of school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Satan!
because of Satan.
If you got kicked out of
Because-
school because of that, could you sue for freedom of religion?
I mean, maybe that would have been kind of funny, right? If I sued him for freedom of religion by saying, "Listen, you can't stop me from worshiping Satan on my off time." I wasn't
Valid.
worshiping Satan. I was just
Yeah.
playing Dungeons and Dragons, which some people thought was worshiping Satan.
They thought everything was worshiping Satan.
Everything is
Does that
worshiping
put you on
Satan.
like a blacklist for like other schools too? Like you can't go to like a public school afterwards?
Worshipping
I
Satan is a
don't
hobby?
know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm glad it didn't happen. I'm glad I was able to successfully argue that I did nothing wrong and they didn't expel me from school. But it took a while to. It was like they were like, "You vandalized a classroom." I was like, "What? Excuse me? What did I do?" Because I was like, what specifically happened was that I forgot to erase the map I drew on the chalkboard.
Mm.
And-
So
Kind of
it was
vandalism.
for cartography. They called that.
Yeah. Well,
they called
and there was
that-
like the satanic symbols was that like I had drawn like some runes and like a skeleton.
A skeleton?
Incredible.
Yeah. I
Wow.
specifically remember drawing a skeleton. And I specifically
Amazing.
remember them freaking out about that, even though that is such a dumb thing to be mad about.
Halloween
Cartography
much?
is a hobby.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Christians don't like Halloween too much either. Never mind.
No.
No,
I didn't.
no, they
yeah.
don't.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. No, it was a little skull and like some weird marks that were associated with a puzzle in the game or something, and I forgot to erase them, and they were on a
OPS?
chalkboard exposing the other students to my organic imagery. It was awesome. But a good time was had that evening of the game itself.
I'm sure. You had a story to tell.
I do have a good. It's a pretty good story. It didn't happen to everybody who played D&D, but it did happen to me.
Mhm.
Oh, and it happens to some people. But you know, especially if you're in a small town, and there's a lot of uptight folks who don't understand basic board games. D&D wasn't as well known as it is. Like now, it's like a cool hobby that a lot of people do, and like celebrities do it and everything. But there was a time when it was very marginal, and people would say like, "Oh, you're into that? Ooh."
Yeah.
Watch the movie Dark Dungeons, the Jack Chick dramatization, where they show like the cool kids playing Dungeons and Dragons, and they like it's a parody of the Christian right and how they responded to D&D. It's very
Yeah.
funny.
I think it's great. I've got someone in my chat. They just go, worshipping Satan is a hobby. Fictional cartography is a hobby. Worshipping fictional satanic cartography is a hobby. It's just been a great line, Rose.
It's awesome. Yeah,
That's actually my DM, by the way. That's the DM I told you about.
Oh,
Hi, DM.
Among my hobbies are satanic cartography. Yes,
Satanic cartography is a treat.
drawing dungeon maps. Yeah, I did a lot of that.
DM waves back, everyone.
No.
Very nice to meet you.
Oh,
Very nice to
hi.
meet your DMs.
Don't wave at me. Nice.
And very nice to be part of your first D&D session ever, Kagi.
No. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everyone joining and like even coming. Oh, like such short notice. Like literally, it was just like
Oh, hey,
a
really
week
wanted
or
to-
something.
It was so much fun.
Plenty of notice.
Yeah.
And in a couple weeks, I'm doing another tabletop RPG. So that game is full. We have different folks playing, but you know, maybe watch it on the stream if you want. It's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna play 316 Carnage Among the Stars, which is Starship Troopers / Helldivers. We're gonna do it as Helldivers.
Ooh.
Helldivers RPG.
Sounds fun.
Nice.
And maybe we'll be able to pick up another D&D or something in the future.
Be awesome.
All right, I gotta get to bed. I gotta
Okay.
get up in the morning. splendid running for y'all. And I'm gonna go to my my end screen here and find somebody to drop a hot raid on.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, everybody. It was super
Thank you for
fun.
having us.
Thank you.
And
Mhm.
we'll chat. Well, stick around if you're on my server. But I will also be following y'all on Twitch and see what else you guys are up to. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Time for me to
much.
crash.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night, chat. Have a good night, team. I'm now gonna drop off the Discord and do my end stream thing.
Nighty night.
Okay,
Night.
bye.
Bye.